Yellow Brick Road. This video does not reflect the actual views of real people. These are actors playing a role to entertain audiences. No persons or animals were harmed in the making of this video. Gosh, I love YouTube and I love Google.
Welcome to the Yellow Brick Road. I'm Jordan. He's James. And today we're going to be talking about how Godless Cranium secretly loves Jesus.
Brainless cranium.
My fault, man. If you see this, I apologize. Joe Rogan and Roger Penrose discuss consciousness in a very interesting discussion, I think. And also, we make fun of a fucking kangaroo. Who does this? I'm mean. I'm tough.
Sorry.
That's right. I made fun of a random YouTube reactor for getting a DNA test. Yeah.
What's that low-hanging fruit? I'm here.
And I'm hungry. Alright, so we're starting with not brainless cranium, but godless cranium. And is, I guess, a reaction to a reaction. We like to do that here. We like to watch reactions to reactions to reactions, as you'll see in our last video.
I call it critiquing ideas.
Yeah.
And it just so happens to be a reaction to a reaction. Our shit's a reaction to their reaction.
And the thing is that we don't give a shit about it. Like, I don't care if you critique that point or critique shilling my video out on YouTube. I don't care. It is what it is. So, Godless Cranium with...
Let's get to the rules, dude. It's against the rules. You can't do that.
Yeah. The super ego at work. That Cavs fan responded in like a meek way.
Oh, yeah,
I thought he was going to be like, fuck you, man.
Yeah.
But he was just like, well, I don't get it. Or something like that.
Oh.
I was like, oh, man. I had to shit on your team for that.
What did you say?
But my initial thing I said?
Yeah.
I was like, your poor comments aren't going to help the Cavs draft selection or their lottery pick.
Yeah.
In the NBA, the worse your team is, the better your chances are of getting the number one pick. So,
they're bad.
I was like, your dumb comment will not. Yeah.
So we're going to sign, what's his name? Who did they sign up last year? Tall, like big dude, beard, long hair.
Last year?
Yeah.
Did they sign?
Well, they like locked him up for a little while.
On the Cavs?
Yeah. Can't remember his name.
You don't mean Kevin Love, do you?
My bad. Yeah.
Nah, he was there for a while.
No, they re-signed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
it's like we'll be fine with him. Yeah.
Good luck, Cleveland.
I remember like this picture of LeBron, in the Cavs, and it shows LeBron like this, and everyone else is on his back, like.
I know.
It's like, whoa.
See why there's guys out there screaming and yelling about LeBron James. And that's why there's guys yelling and screaming about LeBron James on
what was it?
YouTube and random radio station.
Something winning. He what? He transcends winning.
Yeah. But enough LeBron talk. Let's get to Godless Cranium's Million for Christ, Lies for Jesus. This is a response video.
It's like Jeter. He transcends winning. Bump his ass down the lineup.
Those are the fans you want. They'll kill you if you keep losing.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Here we go.
Hi, friend.
Wait, but we just met. I'm not sure we've reached friend level yet, but okay.
First of all, I want to apologize
for the quality of your video? Usually, I watch videos made by theists in vertical mode. I have to give you credit, you have the whole horizontal mode down pat. But you've managed to add in a new twist, one I consider even more annoying, which is to film through your moving steering wheel. I mean, come on, man. Take some pride in your work. If you're going to spread your ideas, you could at least do the bare minimum in terms of creating quality content. I'm not saying you need to spend hundreds or thousands of dollars on equipment or anything, but you could at least film your message in a quiet location instead of behind the wheel of your car while you're driving.
Listen, dude, your animation's somewhat tacky and poor. See, reminds me of like a 90s cartoon, you know. You could get a little more advanced with it, you know. And I think the background's somewhat distracting to what maybe you're really trying to talk about or get across. You see how nitpicky and stupid I sounded right there?
I mean,
like anyone I can get.
You're in the realm of ideas, so the pizzazz around it doesn't matter so much. In fact, it might be a hindrance if you're trying to get a point across, but they end up liking you because look at the quality of the video, look at the animation, look at this.
Who cares?
If you're like a comic book reacting guy,
yeah,
maybe it'd be like that would make more sense there. Or if you're a film critiquer or something like that. With these ideas, I think the message is more important. Also, there's like actual life going on. You might be like, this is the only time I have during the day to do this.
Maybe.
While I'm driving home from work.
Maybe. Or maybe you just had a thought. So, you know what? I'm
yeah.
doing this right now.
Even
who gives a fuck, dude? Are you kidding me? Honestly.
Matt Hunter says LeBron James is a racist.
He might be.
Yeah, he might be. Being honest.
Why you want to let him talk? You mad.
How dare you use Cameron Giles?
Dipset.
If you
Alright, that was like a mixture of like, alright, the typical heavily atheist channel mixed with like the Ben Shapiro show. That's what that intro sounded like. It's like
No, it's like I am an atheist, and it's like bitch. It's like someone going like then a riff like
Now we're gonna hear it again, I guess.
if you think for 1 minute that I have any animosity towards atheists,
Where would someone get a silly idea like that?
in fact, if there's anything furthest from the truth, it's that. The reason I titled my video as such is in hopes that if you are an atheist, you would click on it and watch this extremely short video. I just want to tell you something.
Wait, so you created a deliberately misleading clickbait title to trick atheists into watching your video? That doesn't sound very Christ-like.
Now, to be fair, I mean, look at a lot of popular YouTube channels or YouTube videos. A lot of it's this guy destroys this guy or this guy beats the shit out of this guy. So, if the guy's really trying to shill his video, why not go in that direction? But
yeah,
it's also, in my opinion, a lack of integrity to sell something, unless you're trying to be funny with it.
Yeah.
Like our title, Godless Cranium loves Jesus. Like, all right. I mean,
YouTubers love to hide faces.
And yeah, I think we did one where Ben Shapiro destroys life.
Yeah, and it says clickbait on it or something.
Yeah, so I get both perceptions on that. All right.
I hear this all the time.
God damn it, genetically modified skeptic. How did you...
A Christian does something inconsiderate, selfish, or even malicious, and atheists comment, well, that's not very Christ-like. And I get that that's an expression on the atheist part, but it seems to stem from a larger issue which I think needs to be discussed. Saying that something is or is not Christ-like assumes that a set standard of Christ-like behavior exists to which any action may be compared. It assumes that the Bible clearly describes a standard which may be somehow externally evidenced or objectively verified.
Fine, fine, fine. I won't say it's not Christ-like then. Can I at least say that creating a deliberately misleading title to trick atheists into watching your video is at the very least an unethical thing to do? Can we agree on that much at least? But since I'm here now, let's hear the rest of what you have to say, Million for Christ.
I do care about your eternal soul, and I do care that you do not believe in God. And what I want to encourage you to do is please watch the video that I've got a link in the description box.
Let me stop you there. You've tricked me into watching your video, but now you have the nerve to request I watch your other videos. What incentive do I have to watch anything else you produce? You've already admitted you lied to me here. You can't be bothered to take any pride in your production value. And while I thank you for your concern over my likely non-existent soul, I see absolutely no reason why I should want to watch any other video you've produced.
Well, you could look at it this way. Okay, let's say you are a strict fundamentalist evangelical Christian, and you feel you have the right passage to get to heaven. You believe in heaven, you believe in God, you believe there's a right way to do it, to get there. It's almost morally more than important, I'd say. Like, it has to be, like, you have to compel other people to follow this way. If you have,
and again, it's like, you know, if you figure, if guys, I know how to fly, you gotta do it this.
Yeah.
You gotta do all this shit, and only then. It's like, oh, you're bull crapping. No, really? They just just slam the door on him.
Yeah, it's basically saying if there's a guy out there who's like, I know how to save the world, it's morally correct. It's the right thing to do. You should be telling other people. If someone truly believes that, they should be doing that.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Not saying that guy's right or anything, but yeah. Also the soul part. You're gonna have to define that in order to say there is no soul. But yeah.
Oh, it stinks. Oh. Oh my God.
Matt Hunter says, true, atheists judge Christians based on a moral code they claim doesn't exist. Yeah. Yeah, that's why I had a problem with even just saying my non-existent soul or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, have you done the work to find that out? Or did you just, there's no Christian God, so then that means there's no God, period.
Yeah.
Or there's no spirituality, period. You got to do a lot more disproving. With the burden of truth. This is about practical shit, you know? If you you should want to just go for the thing, for the spirituality or whatever, to find out what it is or if it's even there in the first place. Mm-hmm. Right? That has nothing to do with winning an argument. Right? Get down to practicality.
Now, the guys who just want to win the argument are going to nitpick at every little fucking thing that they don't like, or they're gonna find something not to like. Look, you're in your car. Who gives a fuck? Maybe you should work on your production value. Like, maybe you should stick to what matters.
Yeah.
Like, does it matter?
Is there a God? Really? Is there a soul? Is there this? Those sound like important questions that shouldn't be left to just, I need to argue for argue's sake, or win a debate, or whatever. It should be more important than that.
It's like me nitpicking like the animation of the character he uses.
Yeah.
Like, look at his index finger. It's bigger than the rest of it.
If you find something that's wrong, you just move on from it and try to find the right answer. Yeah. Right? That sounds more practical to me. All right.
If you want to deliver a message, why not include that message in the video I'm watching right now?
About me and my wife, we made a video just a few days ago covering the events and the time in which we live. and I just encourage you to please watch it. Also, on my Facebook page, if you will go to it, you can look at and even print out the information from my Facebook page and look at those pictures and images while you watch the video.
All right, let's go take a look. Okay, so here we are at your Facebook page. Here is my rapture tribulation timeline I covered in the video a few days ago. Jennifer was my co-host. God bless you. Let's see. Oh man, this is, holy Jesus. This is some next level tinfoil hattery. So what do we got? We got it all the way back to like 3, 13, 12. There's nothing even written here. It just says 12, 17.
I would love to hear what he thinks. Is
Sure.
is tinfoil hatty?
Sure.
I'm curious about that. But once again, if a guy feels your fucking soul is in trouble, like you're gonna burn in hell or whatever the guy believes,
Yeah.
it's like the top of the pyramid as far as importance.
Well, that's again.
If
That's why
you're a righteous person or trying to be a righteous person,
Yeah.
that's like your number one shit.
Yeah.
And make sure everyone else's souls are okay.
Yeah. Versus this dude who's like, you're wrong.
Yeah.
It's like, why are you doing any of this, dude? I have an idea on why this guy might be making videos. You know.
Yeah.
Million for Christ. I guess that's his name, right?
Yeah.
It's like, well, but like, you know, this dude over here, the Godless Cranium. It's like,
And I just think,
like what?
I think he just looked it up in YouTube, looked for it, and then said, "All right, this will work for material."
That's
I
what I'm
gotta
saying,
show
though.
him.
It's like, why?
I do the same shit. We're doing it right now as we speak.
But there's a point behind it.
Yeah, there's a point behind it.
That's
but-
what I'm saying. It's no different than Million for Christ. It's like, hey, we got to talk about this stuff. You got to say something. Versus, speaking for content, I'm gonna pick on you now.
Our point actually leans towards the evangelical fundamentalist Christian here, as far as our core point, which is like we're trying to help people. You know, like we're tired of the way the world is, so this is our way of trying to help or fix
Except
it.
I'm definitely not a fundamentalist.
Well, I meant like the core motive of
You
it.
lost.
Not exactly
I
the
win.
content.
I win. It's about
Fuck
me.
you, bro.
It's about me.
Fuck you.
It's about, oh yeah. Why don't you work on production value? Huh? Yeah.
Yeah, our production value sucks.
Who gives a shit?
And we have like a $20 camera. I forget things in the middle of me
At the end of the
explaining
day,
things.
At the end of the day, is that what's important? Your camera is not $500. Your mic is shit. Is that what matters? Or hey, can you hear me decent enough to understand what I'm saying? That's all that's needed. That's it.
And I think I thrive more in debate scenarios than just watching people shit and talking about it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But there's nothing there. Same with this one. Oh man, you can barely read it for one, and for two, oh my god, this is just amazing. I mean, what do you have to do to get to this level? And then at the very end is the King of Glory, second coming of Christ. Yeah, forgive me if I don't take you very seriously.
Again, I want to apologize.
Real quick, I don't know what Godless Cranium's motives or goals are with what he does with
Me
this.
either.
But if it's something righteous, then everyone should be important in your equation of why am I doing this?
That's what I would ask.
Why would I even give you the time if you're putting it like no, you should give them the time.
That's what I'm asking. That's the point. Was like the point I made was from as far as it's like, okay, this guy over here, you know, he might. I'm assuming, or at least the majority of the fundamentalist people who probably consider themselves holy. It's like we can go to we have to go to heaven. We can do it. Everyone deserves this. We should. Versus, my intentions aren't so clear, but I'm just gonna stomp on yours.
Yeah. And you might find the same thing with Atheism-is-Unstoppable. Something very similar. Toasted Network says, check out your DM. I got you a $10 gift. Gift or gif?
A GIF.
We will check that out, Toasted. Matt Hunter. Why do atheists like Godless Cranium show instinctive skepticism and intolerance for Christianity, but instinctive empathy and tolerance for Islam? I doubt that. I think this whole thing started with Islam, as far as like the new atheist movement and their children.
Yeah.
You know, their offspring, like this guy.
Yeah.
No offense to him, just
Hey.
I can hear the Sam Harris in your motives and ideas behind it. I think it started with Islam, as far as like Hitchens and Sam Harris. Those guys went after. Well, they went after both, but they were heavily on. They were like trying to dictate foreign policy almost when it came to the Muslim religion or Islamic religion, whatever. Right, let's hear more.
Take you very seriously.
Again, I want to apologize if you thought, even for a second, that I have anything against atheists. I don't have anything against atheists, but what I do have something against is how Satan in these last days is trying so hard to deceive all people.
Instead of apologizing, how about you change your title to something that accurately represents the material contained within the video? Lying, saying you're sorry, but then continuing to perpetuate that lie makes me doubt the sincerity of your apology.
Are you Canadian? Sorry? Doubt?
And
Not that it matters, it's just funny. It's just funny.
what Godless is saying makes sense to me. That makes sense. Don't, false advertise your shit like that.
Sure.
And then tell like, I'm sorry about that. I just needed your attention, so I said this.
It's like, no.
Yeah. I'd rather just chill it out. Go on Twitter. Hey, watch this. Hey, watch this.
People who do that need to cut it out.
And like the Million for Christ was saying, right?
Yeah.
He thinks your souls are on the line.
Mm-hmm.
He thinks the devil's manipulating things. So he's, in his own weird way, he's trying to look out for you. Oh, we got two.
We heard it time and time again. Canadian.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's just a lot of these guys. Like, are you guys like Canadian, but you're like hiding it? What I mean is, it's like, it sounds like someone's voice sounds different, and like you're hiding your face, and it's a little weird. And then you hear like them like snippets of like, like, we need to stop this, and it shows the American like political shit and flag, and it's like, are you guys Canadian? What's going on here?
I somewhat understand what the guy's talking about, the social stuff.
Yeah, sure.
But guys talking about like atheism and religion and stuff, I'm like, why are you hiding? I don't think there's a reason that.
Well, I mean, it's like Canadian YouTubers who prototype like possibly it's a conspiracy theory. It's like who have avatars, they never show their face, and they'll begin the videos with.
In fact, that might be a meme at some point that we might create.
Yeah.
Why does Jimmy Dore sometimes says stuff that is regressive? Says Toasted Network.
Toasted?
Depends on what you mean. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what regressive shit he said. Alright, continuing.
Into rejecting the gift of eternal life that Jesus Christ purchased and paid for by the shedding of his blood in his death, burial, and resurrection 2,000 years ago.
Toasted, you better be careful. I heard the creator of that dance is suing Fortnite now.
Really?
Because I guess in the game the characters do
they
dance.
do that, yeah.
They're pretty. That kid wants a check, man. Might be coming for you next.
He's like, I need you as a gift. I'm coming for you now. What do you have that I can obtain? So is that a car? I'll take it.
I won't lie, it's silly as fuck looking, but
Oh, that shit?
yeah.
Better
I
than-
saw that kid on fucking NBA
Yeah.
on TNT
Yeah.
showing the guys how to do that shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? I don't know.
Better than the Nene thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, shoot whoever made that.
That dance is better though.
No, it ain't.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
You know why? Because there's a song with it.
Okay, I'm talking about the dance, isolating
Nope.
it.
Nope.
Continue.
Nope. You lose.
He supposedly paid for your sins to himself, which seems completely nonsensical. I don't want any part of the, quote, gift of a brutal torture and crucifixion by a fictional malevolent being. And you've yet to demonstrate that your God even exists. Very little about your faith makes sense or doesn't contradict itself in some way.
If you read it literally, but I understood when I was like sort of in that I don't know state, but also trying to like learn stuff. When I heard like, you know, videos of the preacher guy on the fucking podium with 1 million people watching him, and they're gonna have a Christian rock concert, and I'm like, oh, this is silly. But that was it. It moved on. I was like, I don't just take the Bible, burn it, and say, oh, nothing here. I'm like, oh, maybe these guys are charlatans. Maybe there's something in here that I might care about.
It's like,
Apparently Hollywood did.
yeah.
These people don't realize their favorite movies are all based on mythology and things like that.
Yeah. It's like, just nothing in here for me to use. It's just throws. It's like Rogan. It's like, just won't be needing this anymore. What's this say? Like sometimes stuff about race.
What does Jimmy Dore say about race?
I'm thinking he's saying guys who sprint downward have a better chance than guys who kind of run upward.
I have heard him say some weird stuff when it comes to like, you know, something like Black Lives Matter and things like he'll be like just a quiet supporter. I'm like, it sounds like an issue you don't want to touch, Jim.
Yeah.
You should check out Bullshit Man on YouTube. He made he made a compilation like the good, the bad, and the ugly from Jimmy Dore.
Yeah.
The ugly is him spitting on Alex Jones.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that kid can be.
Yeah. Well, it's the most American thing you can do is
Suing someone.
Yeah.
And I'm a lawyer. Blah. I can help. I can help someone crush dreams. Yes.
Yeah, the copyright stuff has gotten out of control.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
All over. And it's just people that are supposed to be the grassroots of like calling that bullshit are just adopting it.
Yeah.
Things that are corporate principles. Like, that sort of looks like our logo. You better pay us for that. Things that are like corporate principles are now amongst just normal people walking around. And it's all about the paper. Yeah, like Black Lives Matter. You think he is pressured by TYT? I think he... Here's the thing. Sometimes he shits on him, and sometimes he's just like, oh, listen, me and Jank are friends. Like, he just avoids the fucking topic. But
fuck that.
Most of his fans are like, they'll send him donations talking about it, shit like that.
Yeah.
He'll sort of be like, we're friends, okay? And then he moves on.
Fuck that.
Yeah, fuck that. But he also shits on him, too.
Good.
He's like, dude, I have the fan base. Yet you won't let me on your live show.
Yeah.
All right.
Again, please accept my apologies and please watch the video in the link below. May God open your eyes, my friend, and you accept the Lord Jesus Christ, and you and I will spend all eternity in the very presence of the Creator and the one who loved us so much that he died for us on the cross.
See? I mean,
It was painful.
start judging it like morally, and you'll see that the guy actually wants you, in his idea, share paradise. Like, oh, I want you to be in heaven too.
Yeah.
I don't know you. I'm calling out this wide-ranging word called atheist, and I'm saying I want you to be in heaven too. I want you to be in paradise too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, morally, it's like that makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, how he goes about it,
That's another thing.
that's the problem.
Yeah.
So
I don't know that. I don't know him personally, so.
yeah. Matt Hunter says, The only time a Black Life Matters is on the race occasion. It was taken by a white person. I don't know about that.
Me either.
I have no idea. Tosa says, I think he will go full Dave Rubin and get slandered by the left and TYT. That would probably be a good thing for him to get the fuck away from them.
Yeah.
His platform's, in my opinion, way more successful than theirs, even though the numbers are different. Jimmy Dore is a guy with a green screen in his fucking garage, right? TYT has a fucking news studio.
Yeah, I know.
So those are two different things. If Jimmy Dore got that type of backing like that, he would blow them out of the water.
Listen, that will not be accepted here on this platform.
All right.
Oh, goody. Anyhow, that's it for this video. Before I go, I wanted to give a quick shout out to the great debate community.
Shout out. Definitely Canadian.
What do you say?
Shout out.
Let me see. Hear it.
Anyhow, that's it for this video. Before I go, I wanted to give a quick shout out to the great debate community. If you enjoy watching debate,
It's another conspiracy man. It's like, are you hiding it? Shout out.
Starts using autotune.
Yeah.
Shout out.
It's like, I'll have to do this video again. Again.
On my T-Pain.
You gotta be like Jericho, who doesn't hide it. He's like, we'll never, ever be the same again. And people just start saying it. They had no idea he's fucking Canadian. He just had no idea. And you're like, oh, a lot of people use sound like that.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's like, are you hiding it? How come a bunch of like? It's weird. Not that it matters. It's just, it's weird. You know what I mean?
Canadian Revolution, man.
All right.
Hold on, since that's it for this video, my advice to Godless Cranium is to sort of do what we just did with you, right? You could do that to the super religious guy.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's not just, you believe in God? That means you're dumb, and whatever you say following is dumb as fuck. It's like, okay, I can smell underneath the surface and see intentions and motives here. At least how like I'm perceiving it. It seems like he wants you to be in a good place, even if it makes no sense or it's nonsense. I'm not saying that it is, because I have no fucking clue. I don't know what he means, but yeah.
I'm sick of the animation shit.
Alright, I'm timestamp. Timestamp.
Let's see. NTYT. Yelp and just got kicked out of my two favorite game server, Red Dead Redemption, Fortnite.
Wait, what?
Huh?
Where am I reading?
Right here.
Yelp and just got kicked out. Too much internet, man.
Yeah, that's tough, man.
Too much on your CPU, bro. You need to gear
Matt
up.
Hunter. Oh, you didn't know about that? Glad I could enlighten you.
Black Lives Matter. Post an initial comment. I'll look at it over here.
Toast said, "Am I the only one that thinks TYT is the cringy InfoWars?" I cringe at both. I do.
Yeah. Yeah, they're both.
Yeah, cringeworthy.
But to be honest, I've seen more InfoWars than I've seen TYT.
I've seen enough.
I think the longest I've ever watched one of their videos was the election meltdown.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
Or as an argument.
It was worth it.
It was calling a lady a cunt.
Alright.
What?
That's why he got kicked.
Him?
Yeah.
Oh. Hey, man. If you call dudes cunts too, then, hey. And your intentions as well.
Usually, I don't know. In my mind, that would fly, considering the gaming community.
Yeah.
They seem like the savages of savages.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
If you put a microphone in front of their face.
It's like one kid, right? We were playing Fortnite. One kid's like, my friend, he's like baseball kid. Oh, I just, fuck it. I already said it. It's too late. Anyway. He's like, oh, that name sucks. And he's like, your name's fucking Jolly Rancher. Shut the fuck up. The kid's like 9.
You'll learn plenty of social skills.
That kid got shitted on for like 10 minutes. It was fucked up, but I was laughing.
Make sure you actively talk when you're gaming.
Yeah.
Alright. 35, 40?
Yeah.
Alright. For our next topic, we have Joe Rogan and Roger Penrose.
Snow Rogan.
I think it's Roger Penrose, and they're going to discuss consciousness when it comes to quantum physics and mathematics and things like that. Is that real?
My friend Julio doesn't fuck around with this shit.
There's nothing better than a fucking rap diss track.
Well, it's a fight.
I love it, man. Don't play that shit yet. I don't want to hear it yet. I need to be in a mode where it's like, okay, what's happening here?
Fuck, you have a problem?
This man does not know how to listen to music at all. Alright, here we go. Joe Rogan, Roger Penrose discussing consciousness. Or trying to measure consciousness.
I'm a big fan of your work. I've read much of your work. I've seen many of your interviews and videos online. And one of the things that I really wanted to talk to you about that I find quite interesting is consciousness. And your belief that consciousness is not simply calculation, but that there's something more to it, and what you think this more could possibly be from a scientific perspective, which is unusual because a lot of people have some theories about consciousness, but they're usually crazy people like myself.
Well, I mean, we're all conscious, and so...
Just so we know, throw it out there as a context. Rogan considers scientists up here and everyone else is either a step or several steps lower as far as when it comes to
Or I'm just a dummy.
understanding and knowledge and shit.
I'm just a dummy. I'm just a normal person.
Yeah. So if it was me sitting there and I was explaining this to him, maybe not in a physics perspective, or a mathematical perspective, just a talking to a guy perspective, I think he would just throw it all away. To some degree, throw it away. Like Firas Zahabi was sitting in front of him. He sees Firas as a whatchamacallit, just a trainer in MMA.
He's an MMA instructor.
So he might not consider all the other ideas Firas. Like, he didn't expect Firas to
It was a complete
throw these
180.
ideas at him.
It's like, oh, we're going to talk MMA and GSP and training, and then boom.
Yeah.
You didn't see that come. The next day, as soon as some other dude shows up, he's going to be like, that shit's going to go right over his head. Whoosh. Like, dude, like, the law of gravity, you know? Do we actually know what that is, really? Or we're just assuming? You know? It could be invisible gremlins pulling us down by ropes. You know?
Yeah.
And for some people like LeBron, it's like the ropes are like, we can't hold on. Ah! He just leaps.
Or the earth just moves for us.
Maybe.
Just moves a little further for LeBron and Michael Jordan.
Maybe.
When I heard the, learned astronomer, when the proofs, the figures were arranged in columns before me, as a poem, when I was shown the charts and diagrams to add, divide, and measure them, when I sitting heard the astronomer where he lectured with much applause in the lecture room, how soon unaccountable I became tired and sick, till rising and gliding out I wandered off by myself in the mystical moist night air, and from time to time looked up in perfect silence at the stars. Interesting. So it's sort of you have this masterpiece in front of you. If I'm interpreting this correctly, you have this masterpiece in front of you, and instead of soaking it in and experiencing it, you're like, these are winding up in these patterns here and there.
It's like Bruce Lee, like, you'll miss all the heavenly glory.
How does it happen? I must measure it.
Don't think.
And
feel.
honestly, I like both.
They both have a place.
Yeah, I think both should be experienced and expressed. Right? There's baseball fans that barely know shit about baseball, but they can sit there and be like, oh shit, it's a god. And then there's guys that are just statisticians, whatever it's called.
Whatever the fuck, yeah.
And they're just like, okay, Giampi went 0 for 3 today. His average is now, blah, 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 blah.
Shit, Giampi.
Yeah, just throwing name out there.
Well, he has been retired for a really long time. You should be talking about Eric Hosmer.
So let's hear what Sir Penrose has to say.
It's like, listen, Jeter isn't what we want
a little bit.
But his on-base percentage isn't good. It's like, his defense is horrible. Do you have a soul? He wins, man. He's a winner.
Usually crazy people like myself.
Well, I mean, we're all conscious, and so we may have theories about it.
Yeah.
But no, the ideas came by a somewhat roundabout route. I went to Cambridge to do graduate work. It was mathematics. I was working on pure mathematical subject, algebraic geometry. But I thought, we got 3 years. I'll spend some of the time going to other talks that might be interesting. So I went to 3 talks particularly, which had a big influence on me. One was a talk by Herman Bondi, on general relativity, cosmology. Wonderful talk with very sort of animated presentation he had. And then there was a talk by Paul Dirac, one of the founders of quantum mechanics. And his talk, his wonderful talk too, wonderful lectures as well, but in a completely different style. He was very quiet and precise in what he said and everything. Anyway, in the very first lecture, he was talking about the superposition principle in quantum mechanics. So if you have a particle, and it could be in one spot, or it could be in another spot, then you have all sorts of states where it can be in both places at once. And that's sort of strange, but you've got to get used to that idea. And he illustrated with a piece of chalk, and I think he broke it in 2 to illustrate it could be in one spot or in the other. And my mind sort of wandered at that point. I don't know what I was thinking about, but I wasn't concentrating. And about a few minutes later, he'd finished his description, his explanation, and I had some vague memory of something about energy, but I didn't understand what he said, and I've been totally mystified by this ever since. So I suppose if I'd heard what he said, he would have said something to calm me down and sort of accept it in one way or another. But as it was, it seemed to me this was a major issue. How on earth do you have things that don't behave according to what quantum mechanics says, like cricket balls and baseballs and things like that? Anyway, that's 2 of the talks. The other course was a course by a man called Steen, who talked on mathematical logic. And he explained things like Gödel's theorem and Turing machines being the mathematical notion upon which modern computers are based, or all computers basically. And the thing about Gödel's theorem, you see, I used to have a colleague when I was at undergraduate, Ian Percival, who also became a scientist later on, and we talked about logic and how you could make these kind of mathematical systems which worked out logic. And I'd heard about this Gödel's theorem, which seemed to say that there were things in mathematics that you just couldn't prove. And I didn't like that idea. But when I went to this course by Steen, and he explained what it really says.
They say milk drinker.
And what it says is, suppose you've got a method of proving things in mathematics. And when I say things, I mean things with numbers, The one famous example is Fermat's last theorem.
Forgive the Charles Barkley style speech from this guy. You know, where well, it's where you start a story in the middle of a story you're supposed to be telling in the first place. But, I bet LeBron grabs 3 rebounds. You know, LeBron's really good, you know. Like, starts a story in the middle.
I thought you were going to say, you know, reminds me of that dunk I did in that one time, you know, in this arena, and the arena was made in 19-something, especially when you consider all the buildings that was built by this man. He got cheated on, man, by 3 people.
Nah, that's way too linear.
Oh.
He would cut himself off at some point and say something
His
else.
tone changes too?
Well, he just goes off into a different direction.
I thought about this, like, you know, LeBron's a great player, man, and a lot of people don't get this, man.
Yeah. I was, like, thinking of one as you were talking. Toza said,
Why do you care, Jordan?
I think TYT says more fake news than InfoWars.
Yeah, he said that twice.
Yeah, I thought that was something we read already.
And you lose.
Maybe. That seems possible.
Thoughts on Neil deGrasse Tyson being a rapist? Accused of it?
I definitely heard the story. I told him about it as soon as I heard about it.
Yeah. Oh my shit.
Yeah, it's
like,
just...
I guess we're not going to hear about this.
Yeah. It's just like, weird, man. That sucks.
Yeah.
That sucks for whoever he raped, or if he's falsely accused. Sucks for him. It sucks for him regardless, but you know, I didn't really give it much thought beyond that. I like more arguing like ideas and tabloid material.
Sorry, I'm high. You can donate.
That's right. You're up here.
You can donate to Patreon, whatever pounds amount of stuff you want to donate in pounds. Plastic wrap and or gift wrap is available.
Yes.
For whatever you might want to send. Yeah. A couple grams maybe of
Narcos season 2.
Yeah.
No, not season 2. Narcos Mexico.
I knew this was coming. Luckily for him, he has protective coloring.
No.
No.
I don't think that's going to save you from the women's movement thing.
Yeah. Stop it. Stop it.
It's weird, like...
Now, if you have a really good connection with a PR campaign.
It's funny, if you go to, like, the 80s or the 90s, people would be saying the same thing, but in reverse.
Yeah.
Yeah, white guy protection. See how dumb the arguments are?
Yeah.
Continuing.
There's the Goldbach conjecture, which isn't yet proved, that every even number bigger than 2 is the sum of 2 prime numbers. That's the sort of example of the thing. It's just sort of mathematical things about numbers, which you can see what they mean, but it may be very difficult to see whether it's true or untrue. But the idea often is in mathematics, you've got a system of methods of proof.
Car crashes.
And the key thing about these methods of proof is that you can have a computer check whether you've done it right. So these rules, they could be adding A and B, it's the same as B and A and things like that. And if you give you say to the computer, here is a theorem, like Goldbach conjecture, and you see whether it can be proved, and you say, maybe I've got a proof, and this follows these steps, and you give it to the computer, and it says, yep, you've done it right, it's true. Or maybe it would say, you've done it right, and it's not true. Or it may not say anything, it might just go on forever. But these are the sort of outcomes. And the point about it is that if you believe that these procedures do give you a proof, in other words, that if the algorithm says, yeah, it's true, then you believe that it is true, because you've understood all the rules. You looked at the first one and said, yeah, that's okay. You looked at the second one and said, no. Oh, yeah, I see. Okay, that's great. And you go all the way down, and as long as you're convinced all those rules work, then if it says yes, that's something you believe. Okay.
And that's sort of what we say about numbers and things like that. Right? You have to actually, you almost have to presuppose yourself into like a certain position. You have to adopt these things and say that, well, 1 + 1 = 2. Mm-hmm. You have to adopt that first before you can get to whatever mathematical equation. Now, when we say it, it's, you pothead YouTuber guys don't know nothing about this. But if he says it, it's completely fine. Just want to throw that out there.
Now, what Gödel shows is he constructs a very specific sentence, a statement, which is a number thing, like the Fermat's theorem or something, the thing about numbers, which what he shows is if you trust this algorithm for proving mathematical things, then you can see by the way it's constructed that it's true. But you can also see by the way it's constructed that it cannot be proved by this procedure. Now, this was amazing to me because it tells me that, okay, you cannot formalize your understanding in a scheme which you could put on a computer. You see, this statement which Gödel comes up with is something you can see on the basis of the same understanding that allows you to trust the rules, that it's true, but that it's not actually derivable by the rules.
Sort of like the argument that we are our brains, right? You have to presuppose that in order to come up with these other truths or proofs about what constitutes consciousness, what is a person, and all that. That's like something I have a beef with Stefan Molyneux on, right? He has videos where he lays out his definition of truth, and he says you can only get to it through the 5 senses. The only way he can say that is if you presuppose that we are our brains, or that consciousness is purely from the brain.
You see it's true by virtue of your belief in the rules. And this to me was amazing. And I thought, golly.
Also check out Rupert Sheldrake. He says something to that effect.
You know, what's understanding? What does it mean? Is it something following rules? Is it an algorithm? Well, this more or less says it's not an algorithm. Because whatever it was, there would be something that you could still see is true, even though you don't get it through the algorithm that you had in the first place. So this was there are a lot of subtleties about this too, which people argue about endlessly. But it was pretty convincing to me that this shows that we don't think, when we understand something, that what's going on in our heads is not an algorithm. It's not following rules. It's something else. It's something that requires our conscious appreciation of what we're thinking about.
Right? Care. I have to care in order to have a focus on it in the first place. Right? It's not our brains just downloading whatever information's there automatically. As far as how we use the information, right? Right? My brain's like downloading whatever the wall over there, but my consciousness isn't focused on that. So when I output information, my care is around what I care about, not the fucking wall over there.
Yeah.
So he's saying there's a difference in what you might say is consciousness versus, okay, it might be something more. There might need to be a focus. And the only way to have a focus is to have a driver or a controller or an observer or whatever.
Thinking is a conscious thing, and understanding is a conscious activity. So I formed the view that conscious activities, whatever they are, not just that kind of thing, but playing music or falling in love or whatever these things might be, are not computations. There's something else going on. And then I thought, because I like to think myself as a scientist, and I think that what's going on our heads is according to the laws of physics, and these laws of physics pretty good. They seem to work well in the outside world, and so I believe that the laws that work in our heads are the same as those laws. So I began to think about it. Well, what about Newton's mechanics? Well, you could put that on a computer. What about Einstein's special relativity? You could do that. What about Maxwell's wonderful equations, which tell you how electricity and magnetism operate, and light and radio waves and all these things? That all follows this beautiful set of equations that Maxwell produced. You can put that on a computer. Okay, you may have to worry about approximations, and these depend on continuous numbers rather than discrete things, but I didn't think that's the answer. Then I thought, what about general relativity, Einstein's theory of gravity with curved space and all that? Well, we're familiar now with LIGO, this detector which has detected black holes spiraling into each other from a distant galaxy. And how do we know that those signals are black holes? Well, because of calculations. People have put this thing on an algorithm, and you know what those signals look like. So Einstein's general relativity, sure, you can put that on a computer. What about quantum mechanics? Well, there's the famous equation of Schrödinger, which tells you how a quantum state evolves. You could put that on a computer too. It's difficult in many ways. There's many more parameters you've got to worry about. But it's just as computable as these other things. Well, you see, I then remember Dirac's lecture, you see, and how it is that these things that work in the quantum world don't seem to work at the level of classical big things. And it all depends on this process of what's called measurement in quantum mechanics. And the measurement process is something you learn how to do, but it's not the Schrödinger equation, it's something else. And Schrödinger himself was very intrigued by this fact, that his own equation gives you nonsense. And the famous Schrödinger's cat, where he produces a situation in which the cat would be dead and alive at the same time, he produced that in example simply to demonstrate that, roughly speaking, his equation gives you nonsense under these circumstances. So there's something else. And the something else goes beyond our current quantum mechanics, and it tells you what happens when the quantum state makes a decision between, well, it doesn't follow the Schrödinger equation, it does one thing or the other.
He looks dumbfounded. Rogan. He's just like,
He's like this.
Yeah. Here's the thing with stuff like this. I don't think it's ever going to be explained scientifically. At least not in a way where it's like written into an equation or performed in a lab somewhere.
Yeah.
I think it'll be like separate. Let's say two separate people do the work, and then they come out with a solution or an answer or a response or whatever. And it's like, oh shit, you're talking about the same thing I'm talking about. Like that type of thing happens. That would be the proof or the experiment done, rather than, guys in a lab,
measuring and weighing and
yeah,
all these things. Well, the probability says it's 98% of your consciousness is from your kneecap.
Which is why, like, I used to go on like Reddit, and they'd be like, "Okay, the burden of proof is on you." I'm like, "Good, I'll prove it." But you have to take this seriously. If you're reading this and you're just like, "This is nonsense. This is nonsense. This is nonsense," the entire time, you're not going to see the proof. That's just what it is. It has to be a conscious choice to like, okay, I'm going to try and understand this, to find out whether it's bullshit or whether it's legit. There's no other way around it. It has to be that way, right? Otherwise, your quote unquote heaven isn't yours. If someone else is just guiding you to it, it's their heaven. You're a guest now, rather than you finding it on your own. Which is why I think a lot of people act in certain ways, to where they're like, I don't know, they're constantly trying to disprove the other because they want to find it themselves, subconsciously. All right, continue.
Now, everybody knows that who does quantum mechanics, but they think, oh, it's what's called making a measurement and you're allowed to do something different. But that didn't make sense to me. And so I had the view that, okay, there is a big gap in our understanding. And if there's something in the world which isn't something you could put on a computer, that's where it is. So the view, I've held that for a long time, and that there's something non-computable, something beyond computation involved in our understandings of things. So that's a view I held for ages. I didn't do much with it, I just held the view. Until I think there was a radio talk between Marvin Minsky and Edward Fredkin, and they were explaining about what computers can do, and they were talking about, okay, you have a computer, two computers talking to each other over there, and you walk up to the room, and the time you've walked up the room to the computers, they have communicated with each other more thoughts than the human race ever has done, you see. And I thought, well, I see where you're coming from, but I don't think that's what's happening in human.
Yeah, for sure that's not happening, because there's things like focus and motives and things like that. Just like we were talking about the IQ test. Someone walks in and looks at it like, take this IQ test, and they're just like, why? I don't care about this.
Yeah.
Right? That's what makes that person different than a robot who's programmed to just take IQ tests. Right? What's up, Danny? Damn, it seems like I'm catching the tail end of these great combos. We're about halfway through the Rogan and Roger Penrose.
Basically, wow.
Sir Roger.
There's certain things that we just can't measure. Rogan's like,
what?
what? Well, you know, Firas Zahabi hinted that. I'm not holding Firas Zahabi like as far as it's like, see, he's the pinnacle. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is there's certain things that are internal, as well as I can't. My five senses can't see, touch, smell this.
Yeah,
it's like, come on.
I think nature's gonna provide Joe a reason to not play the, if you're in the tarot cards, the Fool card anymore.
Mm-hmm.
All right, there is a time for being in the I don't know state. There's a lot of time for that, but there's a point where you have to just fucking hold your nose and dive the fuck in, and actually look for an actual answer rather than just like, listen, I don't know how it all works. It's just there.
Mm.
Like at a certain point, you're gonna have to. You should just take that dive. It's probably the wrong thing to say around a UFC commentating.
Oh fuck it.
Just take a dive, man.
He already implied, hey, you're looking. Aldo's looking kind of soft.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Even that shit. There's like no conviction behind it. It's just like, I'm just gonna dip my toe in and say this little thing here.
Dip my toe in.
But not really go into it, what I really think. But hey, if he's doing the work on his own, that's more than fine.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to make it public or anything like that. Alright, continuing.
Communication, human understanding is something different from what computers do. And consciousness is the key thing. Consciousness is something different from computation. So
if I sat this guy in front of the race realists, as they're called, it's like, what would they do? Like, clearly this guy has all the medals, all the academic resume you might want from someone when you rely so heavily, like it's science-based. The scientist wrote this book. You know, you're the scientist. Go say that in front of him.
Yeah.
They'll probably just ignore this conversation.
Probably. But then there's nothing to consider as far as, look at my facts. Then he looks at him like, where'd you get these?
Yeah.
Does this work? Oh, it's bullshit.
Well, here's the thing. See, he's working on the quantum level.
Yeah.
That supersedes all the other things that these other guys try to argue.
Just saying. Oh, I'm capable of looking at this.
Like, these guys out here are studying brains and skin and bones and muscle. He's studying, like, cells.
Yeah.
He's zooming way in there.
Yeah.
Saying, we don't understand it. Alright. Continuing.
held that view. But then when I heard this talk by Minsky and
what does consciousness have to do with intelligence? Well, there you go.
And Fredkin, I thought, well, I had ideas of writing a book sometime, a long time in the future when I'm retired. This was some while back, I say. And I thought, well, this gives it a focus. And so I wrote this book called The Emperor's New Mind.
It's perfectly fine.
Nah, you won't watch it anyway.
Intelligent. It's like, he was cool though.
Yeah.
Except, I just imagine you stepping on
need
a
a-
child's arm, like, oh, you gonna keep screaming, huh?
I just need apparently I need a PhD and I need a sir in front of my name, knighted by the queen and shit.
You're knighted by the queen, you gotta suck.
That makes him credible.
You gotta suck the queen's dick too. You gotta be really passive whenever you have guests on. You also have to have 3 doctorates or whatever the fuck in 3 different things. Who knows?
Or I could have
Plastered on the wall.
or I could
Signed
have,
by Michael Jordan.
or I could have millions of dollars of subsidies from, right wing PAC, groups.
Yeah.
Just to start my small mom and pop business out.
Yeah.
Just millions of dollars to start with.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Also, you have to have a Ken Griffey Jr. rookie card autograph right next to your doctorate.
Yeah.
Plastered within. On the side.
Danny says you can't measure what you are unaware of. Many times science stumbles upon such things accidentally while focusing on other phenomenon. I 100% agree.
It's like an epiphany.
These guys, not saying in particular, but the field of quantum mechanics, probably were expecting to find a certain thing because they have all these other scientific laws behind them.
Yeah.
And they get there and they're like, oh, what the fuck is this? I can't explain this.
Yeah.
But when let's say you zoom back before they started looking into this stuff, and they had this simple observation, that's all they had. Yeah. So when they see, okay, I shot him in the brain, his body went limp, and there's nothing there. That must mean that's where consciousness comes from then.
It's almost like this. Watch this. Like measuring race and intelligence and behavior.
You are your genes.
It's ridiculous.
You are your genes.
It's silly.
Yeah.
It's silly, man. All right.
Continuing.
Which is supposed to be saying, well, everybody seems to be thinking one thing, but the little kid notices that the emperor doesn't have any clothes. So it was that theme of that story, which was the basis of the book. So I say, okay, maybe lots of people think that all we're doing is computing, but if you stand back and you say, well, no, there's something else going on. So that was the basis of my thoughts about consciousness. But I wrote this book thinking that by the time I got to the end of the book, you see, it was mostly about physics and mathematics and things like that, but I was really aiming for this thing about what's going on in conscious thinking. And I thought, well, I'll learn a bit about neurophysiology and so on, and by the time I get to the end of the book, I'll know pretty well what it could be. I didn't. I got to the end of the book, and I just sort of tapered off rather with something a little bit unbelievable, and that was the end. Now, you see, I'd hoped that this book would stimulate young people to get interested in science and that sort of thing, that mathematics, and that was fine. And when the book was published, I didn't get letters from young kids. I got letters from old retired people, the ones who'd had the time to read my book. Okay, well, that was a little disappointing, but okay, I'm glad the old retired people liked my book. But the other thing was, I got a letter from Stuart Hameroff, and this letter said, more or less, I think you don't appreciate that there's something else going on, not neurons. I mean, the neurons, I could see, you couldn't isolate the quantum effects, and you get what's called environmental decoherence would happen, and you get no way of keeping the quantum state to the level that you need in this picture. So I realized I didn't have it, but Stuart Hameroff pointed out to me these little things called microtubules, and he'd built up a theory that microtubules were absolutely fundamental to consciousness. He had his own reasons for believing that. I'd never heard of them at that time, but then I checked up. I get lots of letters from people who maybe don't make sense sometimes, the letters. And this one, I thought, well, is this another one? But then I realized these microtubules are there, and they look like just the kind of thing that could well be supporting the kind of level of quantum mechanics up to a level where you could expect the quantum state to sort of collapse. That's the terminology people use in quantum
And
mechanics.
microtubules, they are inside brain neurons?
They are indeed.
And this is a recent discovery? Fairly
No,
recent?
it would have been going on for... They're actually in lots of cells, you see. People often complain, oh, they're in your liver too, not just your brain, so why isn't your liver conscious and all that. But this has to do with the organization of them and the nature of them, the particular kind of microtubules, how they're arranged, which is different in the brain.
How does it vary in the brain compared to other cells?
I think one big difference, although not Stuart emphasizes this so much, there are two kinds of microtubules. They're the ones called the A lattice and the B lattice. And the A lattice ones are the very symmetrical ones. They're tubes and they look the same all the way around. They've got a very beautiful arrangement of these proteins called tubulin, and they make a very nice arrangement, which is connected with Fibonacci numbers and things like that. So they look a bit like fir cones, but they're all parallel. They don't taper off. But the thing is, in the brain, I think most microtubules are probably what are called B-lattice ones, and they don't have so much symmetry. They've got a sort of seam down the one side, and they're very important in transporting substances around cells and so on. And microtubules, all sorts of things. They don't just...
CIA should take some of this guy's lectures and use them to torture terrorists in Guantanamo Bay. Fuck.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of a Noam Chomsky thing.
Yeah. It's all about the midichlorians. Midichlorian. What's that? Your midichlorian count's higher than mine. Oh.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh.
I think it's worth listening to, Matt. I don't know. Whether you agree or disagree.
I don't mind it.
Let's do what Stuart and I think they may be doing in the brain. So the idea is that in the brain, they're organized differently, and probably the ones that are important are the A-lattice ones, which are the very symmetrical ones. And for a long time, people couldn't see the difference because they look very similar. And they may well be the ones that happen to be in pyramidal cells as a particular kind of cell. So, one of the things that interested me a lot is how it is that not all parts of the brain are the same in this respect. You see, you've got the cerebrum. This is the part at the top, and divided down the middle. And that, when you see brains, that's what you normally see with the convolutions in it. But right underneath and at the back, there's a thing called the cerebellum, which looks more like a ball of wool or something. And the cerebellum, I may still be argument about this, but it seems to be that it's completely unconscious. And it has comparable number of neurons, far more connections between neurons than the cerebrum. And it's what takes control when you're driving your car and you're thinking about something else and you're not thinking what you're doing, because it's unconscious. And the unconscious control, a pianist who's very expert and moves the fingers around and plays a note with a little finger, that pianist doesn't think, well, I've got to move that muscle this way and this bone that way and so on, and it's all controlled unconsciously. And a lot of this unconscious control is done somewhere else in the cerebellum when you get really skilled. So
I would disagree with that, but trying to explain it through the brain and shit. Yeah.
Well, hey, if you're gonna make the attempt,
Yeah.
Well, it seemed to me, okay, you've got different kinds of structures, and it could well be that these pyramidal cells, which have a particular organization of microtubules, are the ones where the consciousness is really coming to light mainly. I don't know. There's a lot which is not known about this, controversial and all sorts of things. But the cerebellum seems to be different and organized differently. So it's not just how many neurons, how many connections are there, because there are more in the cerebellum. So it's not that, it's something else.
Do they know this from observing?
Rogan was like dozing off.
It's weird. He does that same thing that Chomsky does.
Yeah.
That I said Charles Barkley does.
Yeah.
Where they start stories in the middle of their stories.
Yeah.
It's like, it's OCD to the max.
I can relate.
It's like, I was listening to this lecture from Robert Schilling, and he had this weird tie on. It was red, red with blue stripes on it, and His shoes look very nice. I remember thinking that.
Yeah, Jordan Diller has a YouTube channel. He's kind of gay.
Observing the brain through fMRI or something like that during particular activities? Like how?
I don't know. I would imagine partly just examining it from dead people and looking at brains and trying to estimate how many neurons there are in it.
Right, but how would they know which portions
Oh, which
are
was
active
conscious.
during this particular
Well,
activities?
I don't know that they do know that well, I guess. But the cerebellum, there is a bit of an argument about that. I think whether it's completely unconscious or not. But it seems that actions that are carried out by the cerebellum, you're not aware of what you're doing. But I mean, it's, if you're a tennis player who has to think very carefully about what way to tilt the ball. Now, the control of what you're doing, so the overall control, is probably done with the cerebrum. But the cerebellum is controlling the detailed motions, how the fingers move and all that kind of thing. And then you make sure that if the player thinks he's going to hit the ball down the line there, and then the rest is done under the control of an unconscious procedure. I mean, I may be simplifying, but
I understand what you're saying. So you're saying that we don't totally understand, but we know that there's different parts of the brain that are responsible for different activities, and some activities don't seem to be conscious.
Yes.
Once again, I'd say yes, I wouldn't say the brain's responsible. I'd say something's communicating to the brain. And then the brain becomes responsible for moving body parts around. It's like, hey, the boss says move your right arm. Okay. The boss says swing. How hard?
And I think it's probably the case. No, I don't know. I shouldn't make a statement. I don't really know. But certainly there are lots of different parts of the cerebrum which maybe not conscious too. So I'm not saying that the whole thing is capable of being conscious. There seem to be differences in different parts.
But are you convinced that microtubules are responsible for consciousness, or it's a primary theory?
I think they're one of the best candidates. I don't think it's only microtubules. I don't know. I'm not sure what Stuart Hamroff's view on this is. He certainly thinks the microtubules are exceedingly important in consciousness, and I think he's right. That's the feeling I get. And he's done a lot of work on trying to find what anesthetic gas is. It's one of the important ways you can tell things about consciousness. Most of it you can't. It's just hearsay and whatever it is. But one of the important ways you can tell something about consciousness is what turns it off in a reversible way. And Stuart's job is he's an anesthesiologist. He puts people to sleep. Well, I think he would complain if I say putting it to sleep, because under anesthetic is actually different. Personally. You make them unconscious in a reversible way. You want to make sure that you can wake them up again. And it's obviously a very skilled thing. But I guess a lot of his colleagues might be skilled at doing it, but don't be asked the questions about what they're actually doing from the point of view of the biology and physics and so on. So Stuart was really interested in that question.
So he's
partly, I think, things like mitosis, cell division. And he was very struck by the way that the chromosomes all line up, and there's these microtubules which form them, and they're a really big part in the structure of cells and how they behave and so on. But why their consciousness? Well, I guess it was his experience with putting people under anesthetics, and the fact that they.
All right.
I think I remember my friend doing that in school. Like, he put eyes up here, so you just like.
And it sort of went from I was like, oh.
That shit's just funny. If someone's limp, and their eyes drawn on.
In this, listen further on. There's some, not in this video, but in the entire podcast. He has some interesting things to say about photons and stuff like that. But I guess it's not in this video. Whatever.
Well, you skipped over the fact that at first one has to train themselves to play the piano and actually think about the movements. Same with learning to ride a bike or drive a car.
100% agree. I was even going to bring that point up.
They weren't.
To where it's like...
Don't lie.
where it's like, well, my little video I did with the circles moving around, it's like, first it's a slow process of learning. It's like, you're observing it, you're trying to soak in as much content as possible. Then you start learning it. Things start moving faster, the content's just things you already knew, kind of just dripping through into the subconscious.
What?
Oh, I thought you were mocking me.
No. You kind of a little more obvious.
All right, but content soaking into into the subconscious to where it becomes like a reflex type of thing.
Yeah.
It's like learned and in symbolic terms.
This is funny. Like, I thought you were mocking me. Anyway. Trust me. You'd hear it.
But whatever skill it is, it's something that's first on the surface of your mind. You use like water as a symbol here, like a body of water as a symbol. First, it's on the surface of your mind right there. And slowly as time goes by, it's like it's already learned. It just sinks down into the subconscious to where I can pull it up whenever I need to.
Yeah.
Even act on it. It's like subconscious and conscious working simultaneously. It's the decision to do said skill or activity, and it's also the learned stuff that aren't in the forefront of your mind. Right? How many times has Mike Tyson thrown a right hook repeatedly? Like over and over and over again. He's drilling a right hook.
Matt Hunter, first one has to train themselves to play the piano. So how could the piano ever have come about? This isn't about race, Matt Hunter. I'm just joking.
Well, what's a piano without an observer there?
Just, I don't know. Something I'm not experiencing.
Alright, but that's it for that video. Now we get to have some fun.
Oh.
Actually, I need to do a timestamp first.
Oh, boy.
What do we got?
Stefan. We are
122.
121.55.
Okay, for our last topic, we make fun of atheism is unstoppable. Just cause. I guess it's going to be a critique, but it's probably going to be, full of jokes and shit. Just what it is.
Stefan Molyneux goes on a racist rant because he enjoyed Poland. I guess he stole his glasses from a Poland human being.
Or Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
One or the other.
Fuck Harry Potter, man.
Okay, so here we go. Atheism is unstoppable. His video, Stefan Molyneux goes on racist rant because he enjoyed Poland.
It's like, Harry, what are you going to do about the poor people? Harry. It's like, I can't hear you. Casting spells. Let me get this straight. You fuckers can do like fucking magic and shit. You can summon dragons or whatever. Make yourselves into animals and no. Put your finger down, man. Because I gotta get this now.
Good.
And you can't make food appear. Just food.
Actually, there's an episode of Charmed where they address this.
Oh.
Where a mortal talks to one of the witches that he finds out is a witch. He's like, "What the fuck? There's world hunger, there's wars and shit. Why aren't you doing anything about it?" And they can't. Because people must learn on their own. It's like Jasmine and Angel.
Fair enough. Fuck that guy, by the way.
If I just wipe my wand and create everything.
I didn't say create everything. I said just get food out there.
Create everything I want to see in the world. Just saying. That's their explanation. Here is Atheism is Unstoppable.
All right, Rose, no, you said that. I think this is what.
All right, lastly, I guess it was weeks ago, maybe months ago again, somebody asked me, what do you got against Stefan Molyneux? Why do you think he's crazy?
Why do you think he's not a rational presenter of ideas, sir?
And here it is. Here he goes. Stefan Molyneux heads to Poland. This is a...
Here we go. This is Sam Cedar, just an archetype of weakness. I'm glad, though, that he color codes it for us. So this hideous background he has with just these soft pastel colors. Let's go.
You say an archetype of weakness?
Like, dude, your face is a fucking kangaroo. And you never show your face. And, like, you know, like you said, you probably, like, you know, copy and paste with athletes' bodies and shit. And you put the kangaroo. It's like, okay, this is the body I want. And now, kangaroo face. That looks dominating.
Yeah, kangaroo is like, I don't know. To me, that's a weak-ass choice. She went with, like, a lion or some shit.
I like kangaroos. It's just, you know, it's like you're giving kangaroos.
They remind me of, you know, cute and cuddly rather than
giving marsupials a bad name.
Rather than savages. I don't know.
Atheism is unstoppable.
But whatever. Continuing.
Pink. And let's rock the sweater vest, shall we? The man is insufferably weak. Go ahead.
There was an attempt to pass a law that said...
You see, the guys that are actually weak are the guys that take any little jab they can to say, see, I got him there. It's a win. Ding. Bing. Win counter. Bing. That's this guy. You see the square vest and the soft squares behind him. Like, wow,
dude, your feng shui is off. What are those colors? Pink is soft.
Who dressed you? Your mom?
Pink is soft, and
I'm gonna lower myself to talk to you now.
Please don't be Canadian.
Dude, I don't give a fuck no more. It was just interesting to me. It's like, is this like a wave of Canadians? Like,
I love Canadians.
A wave of Canadians.
I do.
Having YouTube accounts or whatever the fuck with like faceless avatars. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is weird. All right.
There will be a meme someday.
Damn. Matt Hunter said Michelle Obama is more of a man than Sam Cedar. Fuck.
I won't lie, it does seem soft, but it's based on his character rather than his background colors.
You say his wrench is about like a 62 and Michelle's like 78.
Continuing.
You can't really talk about the Holocaust, or at least don't be so negative about Poland about it. And here he is talking about how nice it was to be able to go to a country and have no one live there who doesn't look like him. Right.
You know, I go to Poland. What is it, 99% white? I don't need any security. The streets are incredibly clean. Crime is almost non-existent.
Martine's like, see.
True. You could say...
Sure. I don't think those are false equivalents there, though.
Equivalencies, yeah.
So, okay.
Here we go. You know, there's 18 minutes of this shit. Great.
Yeah.
Great. Let's keep going.
Should point out the Black Israelites or Hebrew
Black
whatevers.
Yeah.
I saw a video of a group of them that moved to Israel.
Mm-hmm.
They're not allowed citizenship, of course. Some of them are.
Yeah.
But if you're born there, you're not automatically a citizen.
Mm-hmm.
But they have like families, large families, and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
They seem like peaceful motherfuckers to me.
Mm-hmm.
They just sing and dance all day. And
yeah.
They created a community. They created
Sing
their
and
own.
dance all day.
Yeah, they created their own like grocery stores in that area.
Mm-hmm.
Their own whatever. I don't know. But come on, kangaroo guy. Let's be honest. You've had to see the past work of Stefan Molyneux.
Yeah.
To know what he means when he says it's 99% white and it's peaceful. There's no
Yeah, I
garbage
know.
on the ground.
Look, he's the guy.
He's not
that
just
says shit without saying it.
Yeah.
It's like subtle.
He's not saying it out of nowhere. So
No.
Say the same thing about Germany, by the way. Outside of the obvious exception in the past few years. But even that, it's not an overwhelming number. I mean, we're still talking well over 90% white.
But if you look at Germany, right, they're bringing in migrants, right? But it's not like, I'm here to be a doctor. It's more of, your country got bombed.
Yeah.
Come on over. It's like,
Gotta start over.
you see why there's like silly activity from those guys.
Yeah.
And it makes complete sense to me, but for them it's just racial.
No.
It's always just racial.
Hey, let's look
Nobody
back
gets
on the
called a
Irish and
racist.
the Italians when they came over here.
Yeah.
It's like, mobsters.
Or even Gangs of New York, the movie.
They're Irish, yeah. And the natives.
The natives versus the Irish.
Yeah.
Same stereotypes you hear today, people saying back then. Maybe.
Maybe.
I mean, it's a movie. They could be making shit up.
Everyone knows that white majority areas are cleaner and less violent than black majority areas. Why do liberals act surprised and shocked when someone brings up this fact? Ha, says Matt Hunter.
Well, what they do is they insinuate that it's a racial thing. Purely genetic-based behavior. That's the problem I have. It's not that it sounds, it is actual bullshit.
Yeah.
It's literally bullshit.
Yeah.
And we just watched a video talking about consciousness.
Yeah.
Now it's different than just a robot computing things. There's actual motives and things going on. So this is why the Jared Taylors and the Stefan Molyneux, I don't think Molyneux would do it, but Taylor might do it, where he has to adopt a metaphysical reason for why people act the way they act. And that's when it turns into black souls and white souls and Asian souls and Latino souls.
It is a purely racial thing. You're wrong.
Now you're wrong. Sorry. It's not an argument.
I guess you don't know what a fact is either. See, we did a video about facts. You can go check it out, if you dare.
It's poorly made, but enjoy it anyways. It was.
A lot of your videos are poorly made.
Alright.
Well, that's not happening in Germany. Everyone's getting called a racist because of the young generation who are guilty. The Polish aren't guilty.
See, that's the thing. Okay, it's dumb to call white people racist because they don't want immigrants or whatever the fuck. And then they use that as ammo to lift, like this guy lift his channel up, Stefan Molyneux, whoever, Ben Shapiro's, they all use this dumb argument to propel themselves up into the limelight. And and it's like, okay, but those are dumb arguments. And they end up leaping, maybe not Shapiro, but a lot of them leap towards, well, it's not, multiculturalism will never work, period. It's a bad thing. How can they say that? They use whatever observations of past events. Yeah. Never actually go to the core of what a person is. Like, why go there? We can just look at it and just say this is it.
We can take the easy route. We can take the easy route.
See, I shot him in the head.
Yeah.
He went away. That's where consciousness is. It's in your brain.
Problem solved.
No further investigation.
Hunter says that's not an argument. Actually, it is. I don't know if you can tell.
Or we've argued it several times.
Does not compute. Beep, beep, beep.
All right.
Guilty. The Polish aren't guilty about Auschwitz, and Auschwitz is in Poland. They're like, look, yeah, it's in Poland, but we didn't do that shit. That's on you people. So we don't feel guilty about any of it. And this whole thing is like a mixed metaphor, because the Polish people are rallying behind, first of all, Polish pride, but also it's a concerted effort to say we are not Muslims. We have issues with Muslims, which at this point, if you don't understand...
Once again, like, it's going to boil down to stuff like this, and you guys are willing to take your souls and just throw them in the basket with everyone else.
Yeah.
Saying, we're not individuals. We.
I speak for the guy over there. He's like, huh?
Yeah.
It's all of us. We're the best. It's like, stop it.
This guy who lost to a debate with Jesse Lee Peterson is also claiming Nobel Prize status.
Yeah.
Because someone who shared the same skin color as him won one.
Yeah. We won it. We have more Nobel
We
Prize
did
winners.
that. We did that.
It's like, Mason.
No, that's all you gotta respond with.
Mason. It's like, I wonder, I hope that fucking struck a chord, you know?
What? The Jesse Lee Peterson?
Yeah, I guess I could expect as much from a guy who lost Jesse Lee Peterson in a debate.
Yeah. On
Come
religion.
Yeah. Mr. Atheism-is-unstoppable.
The guy who says the wicked people.
Yeah, yeah. The wicked people.
Alright.
Amazing.
I wonder if he understands the symbolism that's going on in the background video he's playing. That might require another form of intelligence.
Probably not. Hey, there's an apple. Did you see that?
Yeah.
It's very easy to see.
Might require that. A little extra studying.
Yeah.
Or it's genetic based and you straight up can't do that. Are we lagging? Or is that you?
Yeah, you're lagging. Fuck it.
I want to make sure this fucking stream's working.
Fuck it. It says live, but...
Nah, we're good. We're good.
Alright, let's do it. Go, pause.
Daddy says, Mason.
Understand the validity of that claim. I mean, I would suggest you just take a bunch of antidepressants and play video games for the rest of your life because you are worthless as a human thinker. I mean, for example...
Just to be fair, they're probably just...
trying.
No offense, yeah, they're probably trying to look like the artsy-fartsy stuff they see in Hollywood.
Possibly.
And then it just happens that those guys use the symbols and you're sort of copying them and then it ends up... Yeah.
It's possible.
Very possible. Especially when it's, what was it? Something.com?
Something.
Like advertising.
Models.com.
Yeah. And it's like, okay. Right. It's advertising.
I saw an interview with a black Polish guy, and they asked him, are you worried about all this sort of, we are Polish, and if you're not Polish, get out. Poland is for the Polish, that kind of stuff. Isn't that sort of racist, white people stuff? And he's like, no, that doesn't affect me because I'm Polish.
Ulicami twojego Gdańska idzie marsz nerowców i ci sami ludzie wcześniej świętują w legendarnej sali Solidarności, BHP. I mówiąc, cytuję, Solidarna i Wielka Polska dla Polaków to nasz cel. I kiedy prezydent Gdańska dzisiaj mówi, Gdańsk i gdańszczanie zostali obrażeni, to ty też czujesz się obrażony? Takimi hasłami, takimi demonstracjami narodowców?
No, akurat w moim przypadku to ja bym powiedział, jak Polska dla Polaków, no to nie jest jakiś, że tak powiem, to nie jest skierowane do mnie, tak? Bo ja mówię, ja się uważam za Polaka.
There's no... So what?
Yeah, it was...
That's stupid.
And...
Look, he said it. A black guy said it, see? It's like, wow, dude, wow.
Well, you know, I haven't looked so deeply into the whatever's going on in Poland.
Yeah.
But if we let his ideas in there,
yeah,
then it would become that black and white thing.
Yeah, it would.
Just being honest.
No talk of white privilege. No identity politics.
Well, there is the identity of being Polish.
Well, see, that's taking the Jared Taylor argument of, see, if there's just only white people here, how could there be racism?
Yeah, it's fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb.
Especially talking about white identity and the girl with the choker and shit.
Yeah. And it's like, how dare you wear a Hitchens shirt and lose to Jesse Lee Peterson?
Yeah.
How dare you?
It's like, I'm a fan.
And it gets confusing because people hear the word identity politics, they think instantly bad. Oh, that I know the bad version of that. It's not bad in the context of if your identity is being secular, if your identity is not being Muslim, and you are trying to push political ideas that involve being a humanist, you know, it's going to matter because
It's probably a guy who thinks that Syria is like a Muslim nation.
Yeah.
We run a country in the name of Allah.
Yeah.
Now watch my business suit.
My business suit.
How many, if I actually looked at it, how many of them are strictly Muslim nations, like, ruled by the laws of religion?
Like, truly?
Yeah, but I think it's like Saudi Arabia.
Oh, well, maybe.
Maybe. You know what I mean? They claim...
On paper, yeah.
And Iran, for sure. Mm-hmm. But Iraq, no. Mm-hmm. Syria, no. Afghanistan, do we even have a fucking government there?
Yemen?
Yemen? Probably not.
Mm-hmm.
Libya?
You said Syria?
Huh?
You said Syria, right?
I said Syria.
Okay. Say it again.
Libya?
My Libya?
Not what they were until we, killed their guy.
We rolled over there.
Killed their guy, installed
our government, our government forces.
Killed the guy, replaced them with, guys who hold open market slavery.
Yep.
Yeah,
And now betting. Not even $1? Damn.
See, a lot of the normal guys are trying to be secular. I think a lot of the normal people in these countries are trying to be secular. Mm. It's just they get fucked over, and then they have nothing to look forward to but God. So then they start, by the will of Allah, we will win, well, whatever. Now it's like, look, they're just Muslim, Islamic extremists, guys.
We have to kill. Kill. Can you imagine if there was some new nation out there, way bigger and way more powerful than us, they had a force field, and they're just, for some odd reason, now their television broadcasts go on our shit. They're talking about, so the U.S. needs regime change. You see? They're like, what? It's like, you see, yeah, they clearly don't know what they're doing. We need to go in there and take them out. Yeah, I think you're right. Can you imagine? It's like,
Yeah.
It's like, it's called, instead of the United States of America, like the USA, it's called UUSSAA. We're just twice everything that you are.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? That'd be hilarious. Like, fictionally,
Come on. Wakanda's not real.
Fictionalized would be hilarious.
You go out of your way to watch a Marvel movie to tell me Wakanda's not real? Yeah. No one has that. Like, no one's close to it. Like, that's not really Africa. That's not really anywhere.
Like, who gives a fuck? Gotham ain't real,
Who's
bitch.
talking to holograms today? Like, who's doing that, like, straight up on the normal?
There's no man flying out of a building with a bat symbol on his chest. But yeah, it's like, can you imagine that? It's just, we need to take them out. They would freak our government would freak the fuck out.
Yeah,
they need regime change.
Yeah.
That's a sketch.
They're like, fuck, we know what that means.
That's a sketch. All right.
Arm the nukes.
It's like, we have force field, bitch, and they would.
Yeah. You'd watch your favorite politicians on their fucking knees, begging to not be killed.
Yeah.
Straight up. Normal people would be like, "Yo, we're cool, man. What's up?"
Yeah. It's all them.
The Muslims are using their Muslim identity to inform their politics, so...
No endless diversity nagging. I spoken again.
If there were no cars, there'd be no car accidents. Have you ever thought about that?
Ooh, if there were no women, there would be no women. Like, dude, this guy is one of the most pseudo-intellectuals I've seen.
Yeah, and no one goes after his core thing because videos he did so long ago when he started defining morality and defining truth and things like that.
The truth about the truth.
Yeah. It's like, those videos are so, like, in his, like, starting days.
Yeah, you gotta dig. Yeah.
Where it's like, dude, this is your whole premise you started with, isn't it? And it's like, I'm an empiricist. Right.
Against white nationalism, but I'm an empiricist.
Yeah, and of course they picked this clip because they think it's a gotcha. Because it's a white person speaking favorably about white people, which you're about to hear a huge fucking dose of that from me. But you could easily make the case, and Stefan would make the case for Japan or Korea. The fact that Japan is mostly Japanese, you don't think that works in their favor? You don't think that makes things harmonious over there?
With dum-dums, yeah. Works perfectly fine with children.
Yeah, it's not like there's, stupid, man.
Works fine with children. Yeah. But we're trying to look in the bigger picture of things.
Look at the crime rates.
So, yeah.
And look at all the people just kind of like in that culture of work. You know this thing called suicide forest, right? You know that, right?
Yeah.
Work. Little time to understand who you are and have an off day. And spent 18 hours of me going, you're sleeping away.
Yeah.
It's the same thing here too. Woke the work culture. You gotta work. You gotta keep working.
Yeah.
It's like, wow.
If you're tired of people nagging about multiculturalism, how is your first response to that is, well, would we just separate the races? How is that your first? Wouldn't a good idea be like, how do we clear this up so everyone can just be themselves, live where they want to, and all that?
Danny, if there were no white people, there'd be no white privilege. Stunning logic, Stefan. Yes. It's like, I cannot believe this guy has a following.
He'll fall at some point.
All right, let's keep going.
Have you been to Japan? The fact that Israel is mostly Jewish. Let me ask you a question. Do you think Israel would be better served to have a mixture of religions within its country? More diversity of religion? I mean,
if they were healthy and the incoming religions were healthy, yeah, it'd be fine.
Yeah.
But let's not go there. It's too abstract thinking. Let's not go there. Let's go with just simple, just keep them separate. It works better. That's called regression, not progression.
Yeah.
You always look for the best possible idea. You aim for that. If you can conceptualize a better idea, and you have to know that the one you're working with is obsolete, it's going to have to go away at some point.
Eventually, whether you're here or whatever, you know.
And
so listen, why not just separate? You know, it's like, see, that's a pinhead. Like, this guy has no idea what he's talking about.
And then when people surrounding of all the same races, they're all in their separate countries, and they start infighting with each other, or one country wants to conquer another country, and on and so forth. You're like, well, I guess that didn't fucking work, did it?
It's ridiculous. No.
This had led to no type of peaceful thing or progression or anything. It's like trying to go back in time or something. They did it right back then. It's like,
God, I'm just
nature's like, no.
I'm so fucking tired of this. It's like,
yeah, nature's like, nah, bitch.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Keep running, kangaroo man. Keep running.
you could make the case for Christians. The Christians in that region can and have coexisted there. But this idea that, okay, so what, Israel's 20% Arab? You don't think there's friction there? You don't think that's a problem? I mean, you could make the case, I mean, I'd love to hear you try, that, oh, no, I know it's 20% Muslim, and there's been an eensy-weensy bit of conflict between the Muslims and the Jews in Israel, but it also benefits them because, kebabs. But just the very idea of...
And you think the cause of the problems are, I genetically act this way, and I genetically act this way, we must be opposed to each other. Or is there other things, could be the reason why they have conflict with each other?
Yeah, but that would just go over your head, You would hop over that idea. What a leap in logic, right?
Yeah, you're looking so deeply into the problem, you don't see the big picture, I think.
Denny, all you need is a book of pat answers. Someone should write a book of 12 rules for life.
Peterson.
Yeah.
Alright.
Suggesting that a homogenous group of people get along better is somehow...
Homogenous as in culturally, yes, that makes sense. That makes more sense.
What makes sense?
Culturally homogenized. Like the same type of person. But culture has nothing to do with your fucking race.
Well, even that, I might disagree with that.
I'd say to make more sense harmoniously.
If it's healthy, it shouldn't matter.
Imagine a neighborhood where it's like when someone gets pissed at someone, they just have a fight, a fist fight. Do you understand the rules? No one's gonna like.
Except if it's healthy.
That could be healthy.
It's 5-0.
That could be healthy.
Yeah, I know. So when we have an argument, we have a fight after. You know, we got a referee, and why do you think we all have cages in their backyards?
Yeah.
They're all savages. That's not a non-bar.
And then if someone who's not used to that culturally moves into that neighborhood,
Yeah.
Dude, parking in front of my fucking driveway again? 15 minutes. I got a cage in the back. Let's go.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit. It's the worst thing ever.
I said if they're healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Controversial? No, not even in the slightest.
I'm an empiricist. I went to the country. I saw how it was like.
Yeah, and once again, I invite all of you.
Here's the thing with these guys' ideas. These guys' ideas on like empiricists. They don't consider any type of internal content. Their empirical observations are all things out here. They don't consider that there's maybe a spot within themselves that they haven't seen before.
It's the 5 senses thing. You're real. You're here. You're here.
It's like,
it's the truth.
You are your brain because Dr. John blah blah made it up over here years ago.
I can read it.
If Molyneux ever meets and conversates with someone who actually understands the idea like wisdom, he should shit his pants.
Or he'd run away from.
I could just throw a Firas Sahabi in front of him. Like,
Yeah.
How do you know that?
Yeah.
Just a normal guy asking questions could start pulling Django pieces.
But unfortunately, the fucker you go through a screening process because he's a coward.
Allegedly. We don't know if it's a screening or if it's just a typical thing they do. How old are you? Oh, this is Bob. He's 25.
Does this
He's
matter?
Yeah, that shouldn't matter at all.
Okay, my fault. My bad. Most likely, you have to go through a screening process.
I wouldn't be
and if
surprised.
it isn't, then it's just stupid. Okay, you're an adult. That means you're around the same age as me. And you went to college.
Yeah, so it's like, oh, you must act this way.
Yeah, it's like, dude, go fuck yourself.
Alright, continuing.
You to travel. I invite all of you to get out from whatever routine you're in, think outside the box, and figure out a way to see this earth.
How ironic is this? You know?
Yeah, take your advice, man. See,
practice what you preach.
See yourself, man. See the world, see yourself, do all of it.
Yeah, I didn't know you were a kangaroo.
Let's see what happens.
I had no idea you were a kangaroo, man.
Let's see what happens, man.
Yeah. In your horizons, you will learn a lot. And there's nothing quite like seeing it all firsthand. It's not going to work. You can't just dick around on YouTube.
We could put something out on social media to have a social gathering, and we actually had the social gathering without bomb threats, without violence, without attacks, without things coming through the window.
Black people.
No, I don't.
So one of the dudes in the studio just goes, black people. So they are desperate to make this a black versus white issue, when really the point goes well beyond that, well beyond. It's not about
really quick.
Violence without attacks, without things coming through the window.
Black people.
So one of the dudes in the studio just goes,
Go back.
I think I heard that too.
Yeah.
Fuck.
You said black people.
5:55.
Try again. Right, brother. Right. Devon. Huh? Should I go for I know. Should I go for
to have a social gathering, and we actually had the social gathering without bomb threats, without violence, without attacks, without things coming through the window.
Black people.
So one of the dudes in the studio just goes, black people. So they are desperate to make...
Oh, okay. That was them. That was Sam Cedar and them.
Oh.
not him. It sounded like his voice.
He fucking would, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right.
Make this a black versus white issue, when really the point goes well beyond that, well beyond. It's not about black versus white. He just talked about not being bombed or terrorized when they had a social gathering. In America, it's not black people that are doing that. It's Antifa, which is mostly white, and bomb threats and things of that nature.
This sounds like cognitive dissonance, quite strongly. He's like, Stefan's not making this a black versus white issue. This is why we're said, like, you must have not heard all his past content.
Yeah, you do that.
So that when he says this, it's like, we brought all this baggage with us.
Yeah, or it's cognitive dissonance.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck do you think he means when he says, well, look, this society over here is 99% white, and over here it's 99% black. I mean, 99% white, no crime? Come on. What the fuck do you think he's saying?
Right, Muhammad.
Right, Tyreek. Right.
How you doing, brother?
How you doing, brother?
I mean,
right, Muhammad.
That'd be funny if that guy was just like, don't call me brother, man. I don't know you.
Yeah.
What's up?
He's like, no. He's like, hey, man, I ain't your bro, all right? I hang up on him. He's like, I'm outside your house right now. Open up, man. We have friends. All right.
Such as are the tactics of radical Muslims. So in Poland, the issue is Muslims, not black people. Nobody gives a fuck about black people in Poland. But for the regressive loser who was listening to that, who said, black people, in his mind, he's so uncomfortable. Like, just the idea of a group of white people being together and liking it. Like, it's just like,
Liking what? The fact that it's just white people?
Once again, I think you're purposely ignoring the past work that Stefan Molyneux has done.
Yeah.
To where he could say whatever he was saying. He's just saying, something pro-white people repeatedly over and over again, saying statistics and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, but you said this about race and IQ, whatever, Islam, immigrants, and all that shit.
Yeah.
So it's like, come on, man. I mean, really, you really have to turn a part of your mind off to...
Again, it's dancing in the ballroom.
To just say,
purposely
just
seeing...
really likes Poland, that's all.
Purposely seeing the dead person in the ballroom, and you acknowledge it, and you leap over it. Nothing's wrong here.
You are a robot. What you say is what you mean.
Fucking kangaroos, dude.
I've spoken out against white nationalism, but I'm an empiricist.
Pause it for 1 second. This guy has figured out that white nationalism means you should have only white people, and that it eliminates the problem of having non-whites around.
No. See, that's very ridiculous. I mean, for a guy who is paid to think, he doesn't do a good job of thinking. Did you hear what he said? Has nothing to do with just the color of the skin. He's talking about behavior. He's like, there's no crime over there, everyone's getting along, nobody's being called a racist all the time, there's no interracial friction. This applies to anything. This is just a known truth about those phenomena. This has nothing to do with just, I don't want to be around blacks. No, it has to do with the facts on the ground.
This is what I mean by existential work as far as, see, look at the statistics.
It's real truth.
It's like, hey, listen,
which
dude.
Doesn't make sense in the
Is
first
there still
place.
crime going on if you can't see it? That didn't fucking come across your mind, did it?
Nah. I think
look at that. Look at that.
Yeah, another guy, what's the word? What are those birds called? Like vultures? Yeah. Another guy vulturing someone else's work and then posing it as like, I'm smart, see?
Yeah.
I understand this. It's the truth. Here's the truth. Here's the facts.
Yeah, debate us. Do it.
Yeah.
We can do it in private. Really?
Pause.
I don't give a fuck right now. I'm serious about that.
Yeah.
Like, do it.
Yeah.
If you're so smart, But you have to lower myself. Only bitches say that. Do it.
Fuck.
Just being honest. It's good. I don't have that many. You don't have many followers. You picked on someone who had at least 100 more subscribers as us.
Yeah.
Except, we'll make it apparent that you're completely wrong.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say amazing and be subtle with it,
Yeah.
Like, fuck, we'll keep doing this. I don't care how long it takes, As long as this guy keeps putting shit out like this,
Truth can't be attained by someone else's. It doesn't even make sense on an existential level.
My bad.
Someone can't hand you a bowl of truth.
I can't tell you.
Danny,
How can you tell somebody something that they'll know,
Yeah.
You can't.
Danny says, imagine how boring American culture would be without black people. No rock and roll, no rap or hip hop. White kids gravitate to black culture because it offers freedom not offered by these pricks. Well, here's the thing. Like, if you sat someone down, even a child, if you sat them down and said, what's the best possible world we could live in? Like, oh, it's everyone getting along with each other. And all the coolest things from everyone's cultures. And culture does not mean race to me. But I would say culture relies more on areas you live in, right? If you live in like a fishing an area surrounded by water, fishing might be a part of your culture. You might have the best fishers in the world, or best fishermen, or whatever. But that doesn't get passed on genetically. I don't think the fisherman's son who says, "I'm leaving home and I'm going to Harvard," and never learned how to fish in his life is just going to automatically just have a gist for it. But yeah, you sit a child down. It's like, what's the best possible thing we could have? Oh, it's the most positive aspects of all these different cultures available for anyone to dive into when they feel like. Yeah. And just the tip of the iceberg. Yeah. I honestly believe children can figure this out, but you get loudmouths from all different groups of people from all over the world. They're the army commanders, they're the presidents, they're the guys that, look at me, I had the solution here. It's those fucking guys. And they're usually full of shit because they spent so much time working their way up into those positions. They never stopped and said, what the fuck is this all about? Right? They never stopped and thought about it first. Like, what's the point of this? Why do I need to be the president or the 5-star general or whatever? Granted, that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. Some guys are like, I gotta get a job. I gotta, pay the mortgage. I gotta take care of the kids. They don't have time to just sit down and think about like what the fuck's going on. They end up spending their leisure time, partying or, weekend warrior shit. The world would not be the way it is if the normies really sat back and thought about it. Like, what the fuck am I here for? Rather than passing it off to a religion or passing it off to their mayor, or their boss, or this is what life's about. I don't need to think about it. My preacher will tell me. Where do I stand in the world? I don't need any lessons. My paycheck will tell me where I stand in the world, how valuable I am.
True wisdom. Money.
So it's like, yeah, we gotta break the cycle somehow, but who knows? Maybe indigo children will do it. Special generation of kids that are like, fuck this shit.
I guess.
Fuck you too then.
So don't boo me. Well, fuck you. Like immediately.
Yeah. Alright, continuing.
Also an empiricist in terms of where his audience is going for this broader scheme on the internet.
I have a theory about this.
It's so fucking laughable to me. Again, all I say here is what is already in existence. We already live by this set of rules and these known truths, which is that white countries are the best countries on earth.
Paul, stop. That's a load of bullshit. You had to literally make such leaps in logic to come to that conclusion. Like, white countries are the best. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Meanwhile, the things that would make them the best are things that aren't inherent to a race.
How stupid is that? Look,
or genetics.
They're this color, and based off of my impeccable research, they're the best when compared to these ones. Wow, dude. Wow. Let's see. Does it? United States, Poland, Russia. Do they count too? Are they white?
Yeah.
All right.
All of Europe.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Any bombings happening due to them?
Oh, for sure.
Murders.
For sure.
Theft. All these immoral things happening.
For sure.
All right. That's it. Your argument is null and void. Boom.
Yeah.
Like, get out of here, you fucking team playing.
And that's what I mean by the zoomed in, not seeing the big picture.
Yeah.
Even on a social level, not seeing the big picture.
Yeah. You keep hiding away behind the kangaroo face.
Okay. Well, on average, this happens with these guys.
Yeah. Keep hiding behind the kangaroo.
That's what they run
kangaroo
to.
avatar and claim these are known truths. I'm like, dude, you are
full of shit.
Yeah.
Also, you can't claim truth that you didn't fucking come up with. You can't call it the truth.
Like, see, it's written. It's the truth. Like, wow. 2 + 2 is true, right? Right? 2 + 2 is 4? 2 + 2 is 4, right? Because someone else made it up. Right? Ah. So you're still there.
Fuck, I mean, I never got this bad, but I could see the archetypal level where he's standing at, and it's just like...
It's weak.
It's like, man, you were far away from here, aren't you?
Do you see how, like, he's on Jesse Lee Peterson, right? Do you see how... what happens when one guy... opposes him?
Just start...
See,
he was just asking him questions, and I'm like...
I have to make videos to hide behind, and then it's like, these are known truths. What happens when someone goes up against you? What then? How well are you going to fare?
It's like...
You crumbled against that dude. Are you kidding me, man?
It's like Ryan Dawson.
Yeah.
Who I like his content. But, okay, he was in a debate with
here's the thing.
Nick Fuentes.
Let me make something clear. Ryan Dawson is someone I recommend strictly for information-based stuff about geopolitics.
That's what I was going to go into.
That's it. Not morality.
Well, let me go into it.
Yeah.
He's in a debate with Nick Fuentes.
Yeah.
And when they're talking about social shit, Ryan Dawson's just picking him apart here, just overwhelming him with information.
Yeah.
Like, spot on.
Yeah.
But then Nick Fuentes, it gets to a point where he asked him about morality. I guess they started talking about religion a little bit.
Yeah.
So then Fuentes started bringing up, like, well, where does morality come from then? And you can see it. You can visibly see it and hear it. It's like, oh, you never went here before.
Yeah.
That's why you're sounding like... Before, you're just rattling off information nonstop. Now it's just like, okay.
It's like...
You can see it.
It's like an AK versus a slingshot. You know what I mean? The distance it can cover, the amount of ammunition it can produce. My bad. You know what I'm saying here.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Now someone like this asshole say, hey, see? Amount of ammunition. Like, you're like those guys that pick on those kids, man. It's like, oh, that's all you got, man. It's like, look at your shoes. I'm like, look at someone with the baby ego. It's all you got. It's all you got. It's like, I'll take any win I can get. Oh, you stumbled to your words. See? He's not intelligent. Look at that. It's like, the man who claims, these are known truths. I'm just here to talk about it. Yeah, low-hanging fruit. That's what you pounce upon, man.
Yeah.
Do I don't have more subscribers than you? Maybe because your shit's easy to digest and a lot of people haven't done the work yet?
And it's mainly comedy. Right?
Yeah. When again, it's
like...
like...
SJWs and doing that stuff.
If they weren't here...
Easy answers.
Gotcha. Yeah, if they weren't here, you wouldn't be here. Simple as that. So you can thank them. Just like Ben can thank them.
College kids.
And Peterson as well, partially.
He can thank them for his fame, but not his content.
No, I'm talking about his push to starving.
Oh, yeah, definitely the college kids.
Yeah.
The whole trans thing.
Sam Harris can just thank ignorant people in general.
Sam Harris can thank religion and fundamentalist religion.
Ignorant people who...
yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to tell you how to meditate.
We should bomb Iraq
Quiet.
more.
And now, even though I know you don't have the hip mobility to do so, we'll now fold our legs just like this. See how easily I did that? Means I'm better. And now, we'll press the space bar to play so we can hear more of this bullshit.
This guy's sitting in some cozy ass suburb in a white country, and he doesn't understand that there's a reason he stays. It's because it's a white country. It was built by whites, run by whites, predominantly white. This is the biggest non-coincidence ever. Why don't you try it yourself, you fucking a-holes?
Well, what's the? You just said it's non-coincidental.
Yeah.
So what's the determining factor?
Yeah.
I bet you can't back that up. I bet you'll find someone else to back it up for you.
Yeah, you'll point to their work, right?
Yeah.
Because-
Like, what's his name? Millennial Woes?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, well, I'll go talk to Jared about it. Say, okay, go ahead.
How come I can't talk to you?
Yeah. All you said was, it's wrong. That's all you had.
Yeah, and he ran away.
It's like, all right.
You ran. It's called running. Now, to be fair, I don't know what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah.
But to be honest, that's how I felt. I'm like, are you running away? You ran.
Yeah.
And you can tag him in that later if you want. Like, if you think I'm wrong, dude, tell me how.
Yeah.
I don't care when. It can be private. It don't matter.
Yeah.
Write me a letter. I don't give a shit, you know.
Continuing.
Look it up. Watch. Type it in.
Look it up,
I'm going to do
type
it
it
right
in.
now. Again. Best countries on Earth. First thing that comes up, a website called CN.
Look it up. Type it in. You are a dumb fuck. Type it in. Look it up. It'll show a kangaroo. Fuck, man.
Yeah, I could Google.
Unreal.
I can Google atheism-is-unstoppable and add racist to it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I'll find plenty of hits about it.
I could type in.
Doesn't mean I buy it.
Why the Yankees are the best team ever.
Yeah.
Why the Celtics are the greatest basketball team that ever lived. Why the Lakers suck dick. Why George Bush isn't a bad guy.
Yeah. What you're saying makes no sense in a philosophical sense of better. And also, they're not white nations. I don't think they are.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't even know what that means, to be honest with you.
Yeah, fuck that either, man. That's like baby logic right there. It is.
Alright.
Traveler. Top 10 countries. Number 10, the Netherlands, white country. Number 9, France. That's ridiculous that it's on that list. But they're talking about the white parts of France. And if anybody has any doubt about that, go to France. I've been to France many times. Have you? The United States. Look at the picture they use for the United States. Not exactly the blackest of areas, that one. Usually, the United States and places like France do not make it on this list because they're not just talking about the white parts of the United States. For example, our crime rates would be very low and very competitive with other European nations if we didn't have black crime in our country and brown crime. Sorry to be the bearer of the bad news of reality for you. Number 7.
Once again, you can play with numbers all you want.
Yeah.
Play with arrest numbers. You also play with laws. Rockefeller drug law in New York incarcerated a shitload of people.
Yeah.
I mean, if you ever sat back and thought about whether jails actually make money.
Privately owned jails?
Yeah, whether it's a business or not.
We're on drugs?
Yeah.
I guess kangaroos can't read.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you gotta be fucking kidding me, man.
Also, you're probably discounting other types of crimes. White collar crimes.
Yeah.
Probably discounted.
Are you kidding me? Right? What about the dudes in the suits? We can go to the tobacco industry.
Yeah.
Remember they fucking lied? What was it, Congress?
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember that shit? It was not that long ago.
Also, Trump bombing Syria
Oh, we can keep going. Politicians.
Literally on paper is literally a war crime.
What else?
But
Bush? Hold
they
on.
just weren't prosecuted for
Babies
it.
in the incubators. Oh, you ran with that, didn't you? HW. Yeah. Oh, I think it's a war crime as well.
Yeah.
Look at that. Oh, but you won't count that. You won't count for the millions. I'm not even counting it because I don't really give a fuck what color they are or where they came from. It's people.
Yeah.
Only a simpleton makes an argument out of this shit. And that's what you are, dude. You're a simpleton. You're a simp. That's why you won't respond. And if you do, you'll surprise me, but you probably won't because you're a coward.
All right.
Australia, white country. Number 6, Sweden, white country. 5, Japan, white country. I guess there's some Asians there too. Number 4, UK, that's a white country. Number 3, Germany, that's white. Number 2, Canada, that's a white country. Number 1, Switzerland, that's a white country. So this
is like I didn't want to talk about it, but we did look at the statistics and how much they're fucking, skewed.
And played with.
Yeah. Look, see, this number says like this many people. So yeah, based on what? Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
Switzerland, Canada, Germany, UK, Japan, Sweden, Australia, United States, France, Netherlands.
Yeah, define better, man.
Yeah. What does that mean? Now, see, you're gonna have to go in morality now, and see how you can't. It's literally like someone that never had any idea in striking, and now you're gonna get thrown in with somebody who knows how to strike. Good fucking luck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, the lunchroom fighting techniques, huh? It won't work here. Watch this, guys. Just pushes him against the ropes.
Yeah.
Your argument's gonna just fall as fast,
Yeah,
that's probably why you don't. I mean, yeah, I'm not you. People. Everybody has their reasons, but some people just don't debate because they just don't want to, and that's okay. But you probably don't do it because, well, you suck. Like your argument will fall flat real fast. You know what the fuck you're talking about. You let Jesse Lee Peterson, dude. You let him make you look dumb. I mean, you're doing great yourself, but you let Amazing let you do that. Like
Amazing.
Like really, Mr. Obama phones. Like, really?
All right, continuing.
This idea that white nations, forget this fucking concept, white nationalism, and what that actually entails, what group that is, the ethno-staters, all that. Think of the basic idea. White nations, white majority nations. Like, what's our stance on that? I mean, we do live in them. They are the best countries on earth. Have you been to those places? I've been to Switzerland. I've been to Australia. Been to Germany. Been to Canada. Yes, it's all true.
It's not true. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Look, man, there's like 100,000 Dave and Buster's all over this country. Wow. It's great.
Look at the statistics. Look, I didn't get bombed. No one climbed through my window. It's like, dude, what makes them better? Oh, any of that was true in a social sense, not in the actual sense of the word. Just because you can't see shit doesn't mean shit's not happening.
Yeah.
There's crimes against yourself that you can't fucking see. Imagine that. You get arrested because getting arrested because you're an inauthentic person. You get arrested. It's like, what? You haven't done shadow work. What?
Yeah.
What'd you do today?
That might be too far out there for him.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying he'll never. That's stupid. Here's the other thing. Oh, like clearly you don't understand geopolitics. I'm not an expert either, but I think I have a better understanding than you do. Certainly. So you tell me, France, United States, Australia, Japan, UK, Germany, Canada, and maybe Switzerland. I'm not sure about any other thing I didn't name, but you're telling me that they don't engage in geopolitics?
Yeah.
And that or somebody being neutral or what have you, that doesn't domino effect into deaths of millions, and you can that is a moral crime. So what are the numbers compared to those? Oh my God, they're probably much more lopsided. Oh, But Big Ears doesn't want to go into that.
Nah.
No, because you're a fucking simp. You see how smart you look when it's just you?
Yeah.
It's annoying because, you know, it's like, it's literally like a 40-year-old man who's overweight and is like in a karate class with 8-year-olds and he's just kapah! Yeah, I'm the champion. I'm a yellow belt now. Wee. And it's like,
you're just fucking wrecking this guy.
Look at him. Look at this shit. Come on, dude. A
No,
10-year-old could tell you you're fucking dumb. A 10-year-old.
See, here's the thing. I can't even really defend him so much.
Fuck. What can you defend?
I don't see the moral motive at all.
No.
To where I'm like, he thinks he's doing the right thing. I don't see that.
No, which is why I'm saying it would go there. If this guy ever debated us, it would go there, and that's when he would, like, oh, I think you now know that this ain't 3 feet water, man. 8 feet. And you can't swim. It's what it's like. It's the deep end, dude. You have to go here eventually. You just talked about these are better countries. What makes them better? Better to live in? Better for people? The greater good? What does that mean? What does that mean to you?
Well, I've been there, so it's like, stop it.
Shut the fuck up, man. I've been there. I know. Like, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't.
Yeah. All right.
Like, fuck.
Let's continue.
I've been to his house. Nothing bad happened. Yep.
It's all very much true. And here's what it comes down to. I'll break it down even further. The reason why white countries are successful is because white people are successful. What do I mean by success? I mean, on average, and disproportionate when compared to other groups, white people don't commit crime. They're chill.
What?
This is pure...
The fuck did you just say? White people don't commit crime, they're chill?
This is straight up conjecture now. That's straight up conjecture.
Holy fuck, you team playing bitch. White people don't commit crime, they're chill. I mean every white person. No, you just said majority. You dumb fuck. Unreal.
Yeah.
It's like, look at my statistics that I happen to look at. It's literally like a dumb fuck walking into a candy store and looking at one row of candy. Look, I saw M&Ms. That's all I saw. Because you got tunnel vision, bitch. It's like purposely choosing so. Like, unreal, dude. Fucking... Wait, did you get bullied when you were young? What happened? What happened? I don't know.
You are indeed unstoppable tonight.
Yeah, you're unstoppable. You know, this guy... It's like you're the guy that has a dick pump, okay? That's you. That's you.
Come on, bro.
You just need to make an argument. Yeah, I can, dude. Discounting a bunch of crimes as far as statistics goes, and then there's your own personal research as far as what a crime or a moral crime actually is. It's unreal. And by the way this guy probably politically stands just like a Shapiro, he'll never, ever, as far as the way he is right now, ever look at his own team and see, oh, fuck, what am I doing here? It's called an epiphany. Fuck.
Danny says his video is a crime. It's a crime
against himself.
Yeah. It's a crime against his future self.
You discount individuals, man. You're acting like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Let me just defend everybody.
They work. They are productive. They are friendly. They are industrious. They're functional. They're competent, functional people.
Stop it.
When I showed up in
competent, functional people, industrial, like, what does that mean? Oh, I mean there's some poor people and some people are going to have to get the short end of the stick? Is that what you mean? A healthy society? What does that constitute? Like, what is that? You don't fucking know. You don't. I've been there. I bet you have in some flat. Yeah, I bet. Great job, dude. I can go down the street and see some people that are just fucked.
Yeah.
Like...
Also, I never hear these guys bring, like, psychopathy into the equation. No. As far as, like, high-scale lawyers and Wall Street dudes and shit like that.
Guys who probably, like, bury their conscience some portion of time ago. You know?
It's like,
that's called seeing a poor person or seeing somebody that's being taken advantage, possibly, and literally just walking in the city, just skipping over them, keep walking, like you and your partner, you know, fur coats.
They dropped out of high school, I guess.
Yeah, fuck it, you know.
He didn't work hard enough.
It's called a healthy society. You know, he'll never answer this.
Yeah.
And I could be wrong. But as far as never answering this, other shit, I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
A healthy society, what is that to you? I bet you can't tell me what a healthy society is. You know, you can't. Because you don't know.
He'd have to dumb himself down to only see things as the world, only to see the world as it is now. Consider that, like, that's the only parameters we have. And it must be separating the races. That sounds like a good idea.
Denny, he can't get laid. He's projecting his uselessness. Fuck. I'm not saying that. You see, everybody... How can I put this into words?
Everybody's useful.
Everybody's important.
Yeah. Everyone's useful. Everyone's playing their roles in the big scheme of things.
Yeah.
He's just... absolutely oblivious to that.
Yeah.
Has done very little research beyond running outside himself everywhere he can, saying this must be the answer then.
Why else do you think he hides his face?
Yeah.
I mean, I could be wrong about that too, but I wonder why a lot of people hide their face on there. Well, it's so 'cause it's my job. Like, if you really believed in what you're doing was right, would you hide?
Yeah.
I'm sure you're not Batman, you know. I gotta protect my face because I gotta protect my face. I gotta hide who I am because of this moral obligation I have over here. I bet it ain't that. I bet it doesn't even come close to that.
I'd be like,
because it should be anybody. That's what they need to believe.
I
bet it doesn't even fucking touch like the fucking toe of that idea, man.
I'd probably. Man, are there any videos you regret, making or anything like that? And just watch the internal crumble happen.
Sure.
Either it's gone already, or he'll have to no, man.
Within our videos, you can go back and hear some of the shit I said. And to be honest, I don't really watch it again. But the point is, I guarantee there's shit I don't regret it because it's needed, so I can get to this point. But the point is, I was wrong there. So I don't regret it, but I was wrong.
I don't mean correct or incorrect, just straight up the intention behind whatever he's doing.
Oh.
I think he meant well.
Oh, him?
Whether it's right or wrong, but him, I'm like...
Oh, I question that. I question your intentions. I'm like, why? What's going on here?
It's profitable.
Keep playing. Let's see how much shit comes out of his mouth.
Germany, the first thought in my mind was, wow, this is what I would have expected from a country of all whites.
You're dumb.
That's what I thought. When I went to Japan, my first thought was, wow, this is what I would have expected from a country filled with all Asian people. And likewise, when I went to Africa and Latin America, I thought, yeah, this is okay. This is the reality down here. This is what I should expect from countries like this, because they are all like that. Again, Mr. Cheeto Fingers, have you...
They are all like that.
Down there. You'd be talking about a map down here.
Yeah.
Point is...
So what?
Fuck, dude, you are exposing yourself.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is, if you ever delete this video, we'll have this. Cool, right?
Better ask for a copyright strike.
I know, But I mean, such people often feel that way and end up projecting their darkness. I agree.
Yeah. It's either that or it's just a void.
It's like,
Gotta turn it off. Got life to live.
Like an egg.
Turn that light off.
Like an egg. There's no point.
Oh, I got you.
You're just gonna get dick-ended by a guy named Chad.
But here's the difference. That dude cared extremely. To the extreme he cared.
I'm sure he
I could
did.
tell.
Yeah.
Whatever hot chick was like, oh, let's go on a date.
Here's the
His
point.
meter go.
Here's the point. But he still projects it. The darkness.
Yeah. Right.
This guy, it's just... I fucking hope there's some moral thing going on here, even if it's fucking out of sight.
And it better not be something stupid like defend my people or some shit
your
like
people,
that.
dude. This is what you're gonna do. You're gonna get really embarrassed. You're gonna be on some podium. My people. And they're like, what? We're not your people.
I know.
That's like equivalent to getting pantsed in front of like a whole crowd. You know.
Yeah. You don't want to say that in front of people who close their eyes and thought about like, what's the best possible world we could have.
Yeah.
Those guys would laugh you off the fucking stage.
Yeah.
Like, listen, you're in the way. Like, leave now. All right.
Been to Latin America? Have you been to Africa? No? Don't know what the fuck you're talking about? Shut your hole. So it's not a mystery that communities get...
So let's see. I have to be somewhere to know that place is okay or not.
Because everything's out on the surface.
Oh.
There's no deep thought with this.
That's right.
You just read what's in front of you.
I mean, I have to be there when those politicians make those creepy decisions.
No.
Right? Oh.
Shut the fuck up and read what's in front of you.
Right.
That's where the truth is.
Right.
Like, dude, what's the truth without you there? Is it a truth? Is it a known? What is it? It's like, man, you gotta do the work, man.
Yeah.
It's simple as that.
Out of whack. If you look at a black family, let's say the dad is in prison, the mom's a crackhead. What do you think their kids are going to turn out to be like? They're going to be hoodlums. They're going to be having babies early. They're not going to be taking care of their babies. All of that stuff. So, okay, in that...
That's not a truth.
You're
made that
fucking
up.
stupid.
You made that up out of whatever movie stereotype you
whatever
got that
movie
from.
stereotype statistics or whatever like weird beliefs you have that you're not going to say on your videos because again, you're a coward. You're a coward, dude. I don't care how upset he gets. He's a coward. Keep going.
Kangaroos can box, man. Be careful.
This one can't.
Be careful, man.
Look,
Just saying.
This one can't do it.
Watch your peripheral.
You can't box with God. You can't do it.
Amazing.
One particular family, everything's gone to shit. And it's like a family tree that just keeps breeding the same pattern of dysfunction. Okay, that's just true. That's sociologically true. We all know it. Now, if you just had one family, it's like...
Who are you, fucking Sam Harris? Let's not get into that. But you just know it.
Yeah.
I can show you this at the end of the show, but for now...
You calling yourself God? Think you can box? Truth is, fight day, right? He thinks it's me, got his mitts on. Turns out, it's really him. Except it's his actual face. Not the kangaroo. You know what I mean? It's your true self, Boom, 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 boom.
We all know this.
And if you don't get that, then that should be a red flag, what I just said.
It's facts, man. We all know this.
Yeah.
It's reality.
It's facts, bro. That's
like,
you.
okay, whatever. It's just that one family. The other families are like Denzel, and it's Morgan Freeman, and it's Will Smith. Okay, so it's all a bunch of really functional, competent blacks, but just that one fucked up family with the thug and the crackhead. Now, it's a numbers game.
Hey, wait,
they're
hold
all
on.
thugs? What?
Were you there? Were you there to see that? I bet you weren't.
That's a
I bet you never seen it.
That's a major leap.
Yeah, even if you didn't see it, it's bullshit. But going off your own logic, it's like, were you there? Did you ever see shit go down? I have. What about you? I guess not.
This is a guy who thinks there's like 10 million Crips and Bloods walking around the nation.
He's a dumb fuck, man. You don't get it.
I don't know.
It's like by your own logic, you fall. Like, what a fucking dumb shit. God.
Turns out we have a lot of situations like the one I just described.
This is why I'm not calling you racist. I just think you're completely, utterly ignorant. And corrupt as well. And I think you're corrupt. But this is why people are going to call you racist, dude.
Yeah.
This is why they're going to call you racist, okay? I'm looking at the fucking kangaroo, not the camera.
And then don't claim when they ignore you. When those type of guys ignore you, like, he's just racist, just ignore him. Don't take that as, I must be correct then. Yeah. They're afraid to talk to me. Don't take it as that.
Described, where you have fucked up people doing fucked up things, fucking up their lives, and then fucking up the lives of their children. That just doesn't happen in white countries on the same scale. There are white people.
Yeah.
You kidding me?
And he has a off scale of fucked up. And he only he's only reading outward on the surface things. He doesn't consider people's thinking.
You tell me. Let's see. Dad beats his kid, or mom beats their kid, or there's psychological abuse, or there's stuff that you can't see on the surface and some people are completely ignorant to it. How about that?
Or, Trump. I think it was pretty early. It might have been this year, actually. Talking about, like, the opium crisis.
Mm-hmm.
Like, kids, like, basically, like, suburban kids taking drugs and shit like that.
Yeah.
It's like, I guess that's not a problem. I don't know.
I'll say this a lot. This guy is a fool. He's a fool.
This is not even on my registry.
I do the work before I say that, so I can say that you're a fool.
I'd put Rogan on the play the fool thing. This guy's hasn't even started really, I don't think. Which is why he sounded very amateurish against Jesse Lee Peterson.
He's a fucking amateur, man. Yeah.
I was like,
from an amateur, how come more subscribers than you? Because again, you have easy to digest content
mixed with comedy.
Yeah.
And you say, like, oh, he's not afraid to say anything. He'll say whatever.
Yeah. Look at pick on those SJWs.
And that can be attractive. I understand that. It's just,
please. It's so common. Look around. There's a bunch of people like this guy.
Yeah, it's just not. There's no nourishment there. Yeah. From what I hear.
Guess what? You'd be way bigger. You'd be in the millions if you actually went to college campuses. But my point, again, see what that says there?
Yeah.
That's a problem,
Yeah.
Right? So Rihanna, you're telling me Rihanna has better content than Metric?
Fuck no.
No. But who's world famous? Who's a megastar? Rihanna. Why? Because her shit's easy to digest, man. That's it.
Yeah.
What was it? What was that one song? She just repeated one word over and over again.
Whack, whack, whack.
Yeah.
Whack, whack.
Let me do that. Whack, 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 whack. Let me do it that. Like, wow.
That someone else wrote.
Yeah.
Shout out the party next door.
Hey man, we
people who are fucked up, but the numbers are not even close to being the same. And when you take a step back and you magnify that trend on a large scale, you see massive differences. Entire cities are a certain way. The standard of living changes. The entire nation develops an earned reputation based on the cumulative effect of all of these people doing what they do. So that is why, Mr. Cedar, white countries are the greatest nations on earth, because they're filled with white people. It's not an accident. How does that make you feel?
Constantly talk.
Danny says the kangaroo is just another facade. It's almost... hold on. It's almost always the most oversensitive types that can't cope with reality that adopt these totems. Yeah, I'm guessing there's something missing. Probably meaning would be one of them. Like true meaning. Or maybe the meaning he's ever felt was from, observing something externally. Thus, his mind was like, oh, that must be the way. Something you see. And then, well, that meaning can't be coming from me. It must be coming from the mountain I'm staring at. It's the mountain giving me meaning rather than me creating meaning for the mountain. And then you run into problems like this, where it's completely externally driven, no internal investigation, and you can just be as apathetic towards whatever topic you're talking about.
Did you read that?
As much as you want. Yeah, just read it.
Talking about race, and anyway, go ahead. It's just, yeah.
I'm an empiricist, and I see that nature does not like a vacuum.
Things empirically.
And perhaps when Gab McInnes and the Proud Boys lose some of their mojo, maybe this guy fills the vacuum. And I think he's saying right now, if you just take a quick look at where we stopped the video, he's like, yeah, sounds like someone's ringing the cash register. Continue.
I'm listening. I'm listening to my experiences. Can't argue with the facts. Can't argue with the reality.
This guy has no clue what reality is.
Okay, I'm following my experiences, and then somehow you can't avoid the facts. Can't avoid reality. It's like, what? First you start with my experiences.
Yeah.
Okay, that's, only you can do that.
It's like your experiences.
It's isolated for you.
Your experience is reading the black-on-black crime rates, statistics. No, it doesn't mean you know.
Yeah,
okay?
no. Exactly.
Fucking dumb. All right, let's keep going.
It's like, what?
I mean, you can't.
Not the strongest way to end that.
Right. Yeah, he's not crazy at all.
No,
this guy.
nothing culty or crazy about him.
What was crazy or culty about what he said? Just words. They just throw out these limp words. What was crazy about it? If there's something so obviously crazy about it,
Look at the veins left on. Yeah, you're right. It's an athlete. I wonder what you look like in real life, dude.
say it.
I'm overtaken by the validity of white nationalism.
I don't
right?
like it, but empirically I must be one. He looks like a very healthy, well-adjusted person. And let me just say, apropos nothing.
Well, yeah. Sorry, guys. White neighborhoods are pretty good neighborhoods to live in. You want to go to London? Let's run this experiment in London. What do you...
Isn't that...
Do you fucking fan?
Isn't that...
You're a fanboy.
Isn't that based off economics? Am I going crazy here?
Yeah.
Like, if you have people who don't have anything and are willing to take shit from other people to have something,
yeah.
It's like, yeah, that's a crime. Crime's going to be up in that area.
Oh, also not looking at it. Knowing something bad's happening.
Yeah.
Just purposely looking past it, turning it, just going like, oh, I don't see nothing. That's a crime.
Yeah.
Talking about moral crimes.
So you're telling me all the rich black entertainers and actors and athletes and musicians,
yeah.
they all said, we're just going to start a neighborhood. You're telling me it's going to be rampant with fucking crime and shit?
Yeah. Not only that, you're telling me there was never a point in American history when it was in a white neighborhood where there was anything immoral going on that could be considered a crime, but it never got talked about because it was part of conditioning. You're just a stupid fuck, man.
Also paying off.
Oh, plenty of that.
Police guys and shit like that. According to the movies.
I'll talk about suburban shit, but we can go there. Let's see. American, Irish Americans, Italian Americans, Irish and Italian mobs. I keep going.
Mass shooters.
Yeah.
They seem to be suburban kids. Other than like the Islamic extremists.
Allegedly. Even those guys, like, is that really Islam or is that some twisted version of it? You know?
Yeah.
Do you think the best neighborhoods in London are? Why do you think that is? Why?
Because they have money. Duh. Well, how'd they get the money? It's like, well, certain things work, in a progression as time goes by.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say black slavery in America. Well, they started out as slaves.
Mm-hmm.
They were freed as slaves. And they start with nothing. And have to take all those generations of people not being allowed to read, only working on someone else's command. You say, go ahead, start. You can live the American dream now. And then, civil rights didn't even happen until the 1960s. So it's like, I don't know. You would think if there's generations of parents that weren't allowed to read.
Sorry. I was listening to you. I was also imagining what it would be like to have a pet kangaroo. I was seriously imagining that. Keep going, though. I'm teaching how to shit, I can teach me how to shit in the toilet. Can you go in the basement, dude? Like, well, not a pet, but, like a being that lives with me.
Yeah.
All right, keep going.
Sometimes it's like, well, my parents can't read. My parents couldn't read. My parents couldn't read. It's just like, clearly there's a chain there.
Yeah.
And then they weren't allowed in other schools because I don't think they were having white teachers, if I'm correct. during Jim Crow era.
I don't think so.
So there's that too. Then there's obviously the economic scenario where they're stuck in, they start off from like zero basically, or very little compared to everyone else. And there's little social things that happen. Like, let's say, if take California for example, if blacks wanted to get into start a career, okay, I can start a career, make money, and then my kids will pick up where I left off, sort of that type of thing.
Yeah.
It's like, well, when you build a giant freeway in between black neighborhoods and white neighborhoods, it's like these high-paying jobs over here you can't really get to over here.
Yeah, it's like on purpose.
You make it very difficult for you to get over here.
Yeah. Well, you think it's a black versus white thing? I'm like, no, I think it's keeping the disadvantaged, no matter what color you are, disadvantaged, because you can profit off of that.
Yeah. And then there's the whole...
See, I just stepped over that really easily. Makes a lot more sense. Let's see. I think these guys are more about making money than making sure any other, the black people don't fucking, rise up. Like, no. I think it's about making money, and one good way to do that, if you're a corrupt guy, is to oppress people.
Yeah, there's still not a living wage in the U.S. Minimum wage is not a living wage.
No, it's not.
If you have kids or whatever. Maybe
even also depends where you live, too. Like, where you living at.
Yeah.
Like, when I was down south, right, and a cheap place, $500 a month. It's $500.
With
there's
shared
water.
Yeah, shared, right?
Yeah, you bet. Yeah, I couldn't fucking do that by myself.
Yeah.
Had to look for a job. Didn't last very long. I'm like, I'm gonna get over here.
Yeah, when I was in Cali, I believe it was like 8. More than 8. It was like high 8s, maybe low 9s, which is cheap in California.
Yeah.
In that area, it's very cheap.
Yeah.
And I could barely do it.
I'm outside the city. Oh, I had no chance if I was alone. You know what I mean? That's why we moved out. So, Danny, there were plenty of revolutions where white folk kill each other. U.S., France, Ireland, Scotland. I guess those people don't understand how good British imperialism was for them. Yeah. You're correct.
Yeah.
You're very correct, sir. Ma'am. Person.
How dare you?
Whatever, man. I don't fucking know.
Point is...
Thank you, avid commentator, subscriber. Yes.
Yeah. Point is, there's plenty of things still fucked up in the world, but let's ignore those.
What's the real estate prices in East London versus Hampstead Heath? Why did Ricky Gervais choose to live over there? I wonder why. Now,
why does LeBron live in Beverly Hills? He hates black people. That's what he's scared of them. He grew up in those neighborhoods, but he's just scared of them now.
Why does Jay-Z not live in Marcy anymore?
I don't know.
Why? How come Biggie didn't leave in bed? Didn't stay in Bed-Stuy? What happened?
Can you imagine guys making $10 an hour, can barely get by, if at all, and then a billionaire just moves into their neighborhood? I hope this will be fine. No one will bother me here. It's like, come on, man. Think about it.
You got a bunch of ignorant people, and you got an ignorant rich man, and now those ignorant people, except they're desperate. So what do you think's going to happen?
Yeah. Yeah.
If you got ignorant people and they get pushed, they can get desperate. It's called ignorance. It doesn't matter what you are, as this guy likes to classify people as. Well, the blacks, the whites.
Yeah, give all those criminals, give them each $2 million and watch crime just go. Poof.
Yeah, like fuck this.
And some will still stay.
Yeah.
In the crime business. Yeah. Some are like, man, we can make even more money
I know.
Invest this.
Yeah.
Other guys will invest in fucking stock markets and shit like that.
Speaking of which, I'm pretty sure that everybody in the U.S., based off the amounts of money that are gained and or spended in the name of geopolitics and then some, everyone here could be a millionaire.
Yeah.
And maybe a little bit more.
But they couldn't do that physically.
Why not?
Well, first of all, there's not enough physical currency to account for that, I don't think.
I bet.
And yeah, there'd be $36 million, but you gotta account for all the people who already have money and they have cash in their pocket and all that shit. So, if the entire U.S. all at the same time went to their banks and said, I want my money out of the bank right now, they wouldn't have enough cash to do it. Like,
tough titty.
Sorry.
Tough titty. Find out a way.
Here's some gift cards to Best Buy.
Put it on a card. Put it on a card until you have the cash. By the way, hemp paper, you fucks. No more trees. Hemp paper. Oh, come on, man. It's like, go fuck yourself. I don't want to hear it.
You have affluent, completely civil, completely functional black people in England and all over the world. This is a very real thing. Had an Uber driver the other day, a guy from Uganda. Guy could have been a doctor. Just a responsible working man, educated, eloquent, all of it. It does happen. It can happen.
Yeah,
Nobody's against it when it does. In fact, we applaud it. We say, yes, hooray, thanks, join us. Join us in living in peace and harmony and not just be engaging in fuckery.
Yeah, you don't fucking know if that dude's in a dungeon somewhere torturing people. You don't fucking know.
Yeah.
You're a dumbass. I don't care if he's blue. You know, that's not the point.
I want to hear his point.
Yeah.
But the problem is with dorks and losers like this, weak men, is that the facts aren't on their side. That's why it's so amusing to watch.
You're weak. You're one of the weakest.
Starting to sound like MGTOW to me, man.
Yeah. He doesn't know. He doesn't know, man.
Yeah.
It's literally like a cluster of people that think, look, guys, I'm curling 15 pounds. You can't even do 5. You're weak.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, dude, can you bench 400 for 5 reps? No. Look over there. No, I can't. It's called cognitive dissonance, man.
He studies philosophy, too. Oh. You were just talking about that. Alpha male.
Yeah.
Farasa hobby.
Yeah.
He'll choke you out while giving you a lesson.
Yeah, it's funny, right?
I'll talk to you.
Listen. I'm gonna tickle you now. See, in this position, he can't do anything. He starts tickling. It's like he's teaching a lesson to his students.
In the same way, it's amusing to watch, Christians talk about God, and it's like, oh, this is so fucking awkward.
I thought you didn't talk about that anymore, or not as much, right? Because Jesse Lee Peterson spanked your ass, right?
Amazing.
Now it gives me you're giving me the okay to talk about that now.
Yeah, this almost seems like a marketing scheme, right?
Yeah.
It's like MGTOW, atheism, and SJWs. It's like,
Are you following the trends, sir?
I'll flow where the money will.
Yeah, look, let's follow the trends. And even if he was here before most of them, I don't give a fuck. You know, it's still happening. Danny, those yellow vests in France are just throwing a wild party celebration of how wonderful life is there. It's rationalized until poverty happens for a white majority.
Yeah. And
yeah.
See, what this guy does is if there's white guys supporting like a group that's being shitted on by whatever government.
Yeah.
If white guys do it, they're SJWs. Like just straight up. Granted, he won't bring up a Chris Hedges. He won't bring up a Cornel West. He won't bring up a Jimmy Dore. He won't bring these guys up who have been saying things like this for years, complaining about certain things. Just waited for college kids to start saying it. Look at these dumb SJW college kids.
Yeah.
It's like Chris Hedges has been right here the whole time. He debated your boy, Christopher Hitchens. Seems credible to me. I don't know.
Seems like someone's a coward.
I mean, there's no evidence that there's God. Everybody knows there isn't a God. And yet they're still going along with this game?
Stop it. Oh my god, you are a fool.
I don't know if he's doing a mocking thing or not.
No, you hear the music like...
Either way, That statement is just absolutely full of shit.
Yeah.
And, yeah. Just Lee Peterson. That's a lot to say.
Yeah. Hey, was he... I didn't hear you talk to him like that.
Yeah. Everyone knows it's not real. No, he did say that.
So that means
That's
you're...
why we shit on him.
So
Like,
you're
whoa, that's nowhere near an argument.
So you're a passive-aggressive bitch.
As far as the atheist arguments, that's like down here somewhere.
He's a passive-aggressive bitch.
It's because it's not true and science proved it.
Yeah. Like,
It's
wow,
what?
expose yourself. Great job.
Like, no, what did you prove? Like Jesse Lee Peterson, I don't know if he says it, but a educated religious person might say, like, my truths are self-evident.
There you go.
You have to do your work to understand
Well,
that.
tell me. I can't. How could I? How could I put in the words for you? Even if I did, it wouldn't mean that you would know.
Yeah.
I literally feel like I'm like critiquing somebody that picked up the bat for the first time. You know what I mean? I'm the best. Gotta swing for home runs. This is cringy. This is cringy.
Yeah.
And it's a game that relies on the fact, it's predicated on the fact that it makes them feel good to believe this, even though it is starkly obvious that none of it's true. Same with this. Are you telling me that you're unaware that white countries are kick-ass? Or white cities or white neighborhoods? I mean...
It's not about their...
Fuck. What is this, 15? Okay, I'm gonna remember this shit. This is creepy.
Yeah, it's I don't know why you're classifying them as that.
Let's hear it. 15 to 15?
Right there?
Yeah.
Starkly obvious that none of it's true. Same with this. Are you telling me that you're unaware that white countries are kick-ass? Or white cities or white neighborhoods? I mean, what's priceless about the whole thing is, like, I'll just tell you straight up, like, I've been around the world, and I appreciate functional people doing functional things, productive, great things. I appreciate that. And I call it whatever it is. If it's the Ugandan Uber driver in Manchester, he's one of them, okay? He's one of them. If it's the Japanese student in Melbourne, he's one of them.
So why, I don't know. It sounds like you're making it exclusive to whites when you say white neighborhoods, white countries, and this and that, when the actual values and the actual practices have nothing to do with your race or even your genetics.
Yeah.
I mean, truly, has nothing to do with that.
Absolutely not, yeah.
So why are you crediting it to white nations and white neighborhoods and that?
Yeah.
And we just said, like, if LeBron can move to Beverly Hills and it's still peaceful there, then that automatically kills the point of saying white neighborhood.
Yeah. It's unreal. Ridiculous.
What it would turn into is like, well, rich neighborhoods are more peaceful. Then it would turn into, well, peaceful neighborhoods are more peaceful.
Or even that on the surface, are they peaceful? Do you know what goes down in there?
Yeah.
How the fuck do you know if there's no suffering, but they put on a face for you? I've been there. Like, wow, you dumb fuck. Wow, great job. You've been there. Because the psychic vampire will reveal himself to you once you're there, right? Right? No. No. Because the psychopath will definitely let you know. Oh, marsupials here. I'll let him know. See, it's not so good here. Oh, God. Wow, it's called, you have to dig for it, you fuck. You gotta dig for that.
Yeah.
Unreal, man. This guy, this is why people, I'm not calling him a racist. I think he's an ignorant, corrupt fucker. But this is why people will call him a racist. And if you watch that video, he gets butthurt. And instead of actually providing like some sort of logical argument against it, just you know, low blows. It's all.
Yeah.
Like, why don't you fucking sit down for once and think, what am I saying that could possibly be misconstrued or whatever the fuck as racist or racism?
Because
white nations are kick-ass?
Step number 5, reflection.
Like, who says that? White nations are kick-ass. What are you, 8? Batman's kick-ass.
Yeah.
If I had to guess, you're an old, out of touch, silly man.
Yeah.
Silly man.
Or kangaroo.
This is not as racial as you would think it is. It's just the numbers line up the way the numbers line up. Don't blame us.
Or the numbers line up
Don't
the way
blame
you want
us
them to.
for succeeding in life. Sorry guys, but the point is this. You can choose to not say this out loud. I'll say it out loud for you. How about that? You pretend that you're ambiguous on it, or you're neutral, or yeah, diversity's cool, and it is what it is, whatever it is.
You'll never say this to somebody. Like, it won't happen.
Also, more of the provocative videos.
Yeah.
Like that whole provocateur slant. Like the Milo, Indianapolis. Like, see, I do weird, crazy shit.
See the girl brushing her hair in the background?
I don't have an opinion on it. So if a place like Portland, let's say, a nice place like Seattle, if it gets overrun by blacks and the whole thing goes to hell, then whatever. It's America. Hooray for America.
Wait. I was looking at the girl. Like, why the fuck is there a girl in the background brushing her hair, looking at the camera? Like you
fetish stuff?
Yeah, you pandering to a fetish? Anyway, here, go back. Blacks invade what? He said?
Portland.
Yeah, keep going.
Or?
No, my bad. My fault, play.
Or, yeah, diversity's cool, and it is what it is, whatever it is. I don't have an opinion on it. So if a place like Portland, let's say, a nice place like Seattle, if it gets overrun by blacks and the whole thing goes to hell, then whatever. It's America. Hooray.
You don't see how people could think that, dude? You don't see how people could think you're a racist. You don't.
Yeah,
you're implying shit,
If, I don't know, 500,000 clones of me moved into Portland, it would turn into hell or something.
You're invading. Invade. He used the word invade.
Yeah. I don't know.
See, this dumb fuck doesn't get to this. That by his argument, and everybody else uses the race shit, it's going to cut down to the smallest thing. Like me, look, James, look, you're part of the majority. Guys with eyebrows and brown, big black eyebrows and brown hair and dark brown hair, and who also have of Italian, Irish, English descent. You see, they commit crimes. It's better for you guys to live over here.
Yeah.
You'll cut. Yeah, I'm white. Yeah. Wow. All right. What is fucking? I don't even know. I don't
For
even
America.
know.
But you already live like this. You already make your decisions based on this. It's not a hard thing to do. Hey,
I don't think they make their decisions on. That's a black neighborhood. Stay out of there.
Yeah.
I think it's a crime happens there. I stay out of there.
Yeah, that's not not him. It says Reebok right there. See his left shoulder?
Yeah, I know. I noticed that.
What do you really look like, dude?
So yeah, these white people that you speak of wouldn't be afraid to live next door to LeBron James.
No?
Like, oh shit, I live next to LeBron, yo.
Yeah.
They become fucking fans.
Except he doesn't talk to anybody. Oh, your kids would make you look good. Hey. I'm just kidding.
I think people live where the money takes them, right?
Yeah.
If I make $20 million a year, I don't stay in a, whatever, let's say $14,000 cost of living.
Oh, I'd stay here.
Yeah, but most people who make a shitload of money usually live in places that fits the amount of money they make.
Oh, it's silly.
But that seems to be what happens.
It's silly.
It makes sense.
Like, oh, I have risen. Goodbye, peasants. Click, 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 click. I'm moving to a flat in Manhattan. Oh, yes. It's not like everything I eat one day can help a whole family out, right? Oh. Just saying.
where should I live? The nice part of town or the shit part of town? How about the nice part of town? Okay. Well, it turns out the nice part of town is mostly white. Oops, I guess I'm a racist. That's not a thing. It's not a thing. Hey, where should I live? This is a good question. Where should I live? Should I live in a neighborhood with people I'm comfortable with, who like me, where I fit in, or a neighborhood where I'm not comfortable with the people, I don't fit in, and they don't like me? There's like hostility towards me. Which one would you want to live in? Interesting.
This dude's been picked on by black guys, man. It's starting to smell very strong.
Yo, did you walk in and you found your girl with a black dude? Is that what happened?
He's got picked on by him or something.
Yeah.
So walk into neighborhood, people they just
what
don't
probably
like
happened?
you. I don't know what it is. They just don't
I'm gonna
like
guess
you.
this guy's old enough. This age. He's probably a teenager in the late 80s, early 90s. 17 maybe. And he tried to walk in with the Flavor Flav clock, the Black Power symbols, you know what I mean? And the fucking, what's his name? LL Cool J hat. Fuzzy one, you know what I mean? If I walk, he's like, what's up, ma? They all looked at him, just stomped him out. It's like, what the fuck? And there's also some, Hispanic dudes in there, too. He's like, that ain't flying either, man. Just stomped his ass out, and he's like, I'll get you.
Yeah.
This probably happened. He walked in on a black dude with his girlfriend, and they kicked him out of his own house. That's probably what happened. It's a combination of these things.
Danny says I'm going to binge watch Anthony Bourdain videos to get the kangaroo stink off me.
Oh.
Fucking savage.
I want to go to a gym in my neighborhood. Should I go to a gym with predominantly black people, even though I'm attracted to whites? I am physically attracted to whites. If I want to engage with them in some sort of social or romantic way, my chances at meeting a potential mate are greatly increased if I'm among white people. Is it okay that I'm attracted to whites? Is that okay? Is it okay that I'm white? How about that? Is that cool? How far back should we go? Are you okay with the word white? Has that word, like Pavlov's dogs, is that...
Are you trying to make this bigger than you think than everyone else realizes it is?
Yeah.
Like, dude, this isn't some epic shit you're saying.
No,
It's really not.
No.
I don't get it. Is he zooming in with the kangaroo while playing some?
Yeah, I know. Some
epic
See,
music.
I put this music in the background to make sure it's meaningful. It's like, dude, you don't even know. You have lack of ideas.
Yeah. In fact, I should say just don't debate us, man. It would really just come off as dumb.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah.
Like,
Save your time. I'll still fucking.
I'll talk to you, but I won't debate you.
Yeah.
Just, what the fuck?
But even if you put out videos, we'll still do this shit.
Yeah.
Because it deserves that. So. Yeah, but don't debate us, dude. You're gonna. I'm not even being sarcastic. Don't do it, dude. You're gonna get exposed.
But look what Don Lemon did. Like that's these guys' excuses for putting out the content that they put out.
Wait, as far as what?
It's something like
Don Lemon what?
Guys like that who say dumb shit.
He's a dumb shit, yeah.
Like, oh, white people do this.
Yeah, Don Lemon is a dumb fuck.
Yeah. Oh, we shit on him too, by the way.
Yeah, you can go look. And Obama.
If
you're gonna be color coordinated.
Our cause is moral. That's the cause. It's a moral cause. Yeah. It's not a provocateur, get more fans, sell you shit.
Yeah, hold on. I don't have
gimmick.
You don't have a
no
shtick.
Gimmick here.
You don't have a shtick, dude. Like your fucking kangaroo avatar ass and I don't have one. I was here first. I don't give a fuck because there's other ones like you.
Yeah.
With this, they talk about literally the same shit. Oddly enough, you guys have a similar amount of following as far as you look at the numbers. You guys are all in either the hundreds of thousands range. Hardly any of you guys are under that,
Yeah, if it's heavy atheists, they call out the fucking end of the world guys.
My bad, I don't mean 100,000. I mean like tens, if not hundreds of thousands. Very rare if it's like millions.
Yeah, if it's religion, they call out, or atheism, they call out the super religious evangelicals.
Yeah.
If it's social policy, they call out the SJWs.
Yeah.
If it's, what's his other thing? I guess that's it.
Yeah.
There's no like depth beyond that
No.
I've seen.
No.
It really just falls short.
And if they do try to go there, it's like they get exposed.
It's swimming in puddles.
Like Ben. He got exposed a long time ago. A lot of people don't know it though. When I got exposed, there's snippets of it. So it's literally like a puzzle. You know what I mean?
I think Ben Shapiro has that Drake magic. Like Drake constantly gets exposed and nothing happens to him. Shapiro, like that article I read.
Well, look,
like, oh, someone built you up.
It's
as
Eminem.
as this guy.
It's Eminem, dude.
No, it's not the same shit.
What do you mean?
Eminem cannot get away with having a ghostwriter. That could not happen. That's the end of Eminem.
No, that's different.
Drake, it's just another excuse to talk about him, and his popularity grows.
That's different.
Oh, you're hiding a kid?
It's the
no
same
problem.
shit. It's the same shit.
I think it's different.
Look. Yeah, but that's a rule though. But there's this too. Yo, he's a battle rapper. Who is he battled? Okay, back then. Okay, who since? Who did he diss? His wife? Wow. She a rapper? No. Who else? Pop stars? Boy bands? The president? That's it?
Yeah.
What? No offense, but that's like Kimbo Slice, dude. He's one of the best fighters ever. This dude's tough, but you know.
Point is,
who do you almost get knocked out by? A police officer?
I don't know.
Point is this, right? So as far as like when you stack them up against, like, oh, your fans created this shit, you know, and now you're living in a mansion.
Yeah.
And the mansion says Eminem, 1 million, everybody else 0. See what I mean?
Yeah, like Shapiro has this like invisible protection.
Yeah. Well, dude,
literally, like,
PR.
come on, man.
I said it without even seeing the article. The PR created him. PR campaign.
PR campaign. Him being so pro-war. All of a sudden, he's contradictory on the whole identity politics. All of a sudden, he cares when it's anti-Semitic.
Yeah. Allegedly.
His son with the sparkly shoes.
Yeah.
No, that's for boys. And I just immediately took him to the store and got some cowboy boots.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, dude.
That's creepy.
Like,
it is.
That's something rappers wait for. Like, you did what?
It's like, ready? I'm a reporter, you see. Sitting there. I'm a reporter, alright?
Alright, let's continue.
Now just a trigger word. Are you salivating?
God pray for the women of Poland.
What does that mean? God pray for the women of Poland? That might have been a chant at one of the rallies that he was going to. As in, we need to protect our women from Muslims who come in and rape. By the way, another thing that's true.
Muslims who come in and rape. I don't gotta say anything to that.
Yeah.
Keep going.
And, wow. Is that in their book? Is that in the Quran?
I bet it is.
It's like, you must rape white women.
Page 1. Rape white Polish women. And it shows how.
Fuck.
It's like like cartoons. Step 1, grab. Step 2, and there's like a little pamphlet like, are you 18 or older? You know.
Yeah.
Another thing that's true, but I mean, it's not racially coded as much. It's more of a religious and cultural thing. But it is rape.
What?
So he is saying it is in the Quran. Oh. He said it's religious and cultural. Oh. That's what they did. They
See, it's funny. He it's like you're gonna be your own downfall, dude. You're just giving us more ammo.
Yeah.
Go. Okay, it's like you are a dumb fuck.
This is a 3-hour video. We probably did 2 hours of it on this guy.
Yeah.
Because it's just like.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of one of those easy slam dunk moral issues. I'm against rape. Cool. Yeah, that sounds good. We are all on board. Against rape. Okay, turns out guys are raping. Oh, okay, well, let's go get those guys. Who are those guys? Because they're the ones raping and we're against rape. Slam dunk. Yeah, it's these Muslims. Ooh, what?
Alright, I gotta say. Why? What the fuck is that?
I don't even care.
It's weird. It's like, here's the thing. Do you feel it's needed in your videos, dude? You know? Like, are you trying to be a provocateur?
Yeah.
That means...
I think he definitely is.
It means you're a pretender.
I think he sees money signs.
That's a pretender. That's what pretenders and schemers do.
I think he sees a paycheck. Though.
That's you.
But
you're giving me evidence.
You're gonna have to show me in the Muslim Islamic doctrine or whatever that it says you have to rape or whatever.
Yeah.
You have to do that, otherwise you can't just say Muslims. You have to say, oh, well, criminals commit crime.
It's incredibly
That's what it boils down to.
The fact this guy's generalizing is something that he probably knows little to nothing about is absolutely ridiculous. But he can get away with it because of what's happening today.
Yeah.
Mass ignorance of what's happening today.
Yeah, if all that goes away,
you're fucked. Goodbye. Bye bye.
You don't have much to say beyond this.
Okay, hold on. Let's tap the brakes. Let's think about this now. In fact, let's not even talk about this anymore.
All right. By the way, I don't care if they are wearing Nike. It's not probably the best way to perform box jumps. Keep playing it.
See that?
Yeah.
Internal rotation as he jumps off the box. He gets on fine, but then he goes to jump back off.
Yeah. Not probably, as far as what I can see, probably not the most ideal thing to do box jumps and then jump off of them like that.
I do that shit.
Yeah, but you don't care.
And that's too low, man. You gotta jump higher than that. Don't be a pussy.
Yeah.
Grab one of those machines and see how high that is. Jump on one of those.
But they're hipsters, bro. They're hipsters.
Something apathetic.
Wow.
Don't worry, you won't have to feel during this video. Just shut your emotions off and watch. Get your popcorn.
We're gonna watch the world burn. Yes. Yes.
It's funny, like that, the workout thing on its own, it'd be like, whatever, it's just some video workout. But when you add the kangaroo in the beginning, it's just like,
how fucked up would it be?
Front row seats to the end of the world.
How fucked up would it be, like, right, some asshole is talking about some stupid shit he doesn't even know, and then all of a sudden I'm in the background doing bench press?
I know.
You know? It's like, what?
It's like that other guy's video where he's like, the inspirational video.
Yeah.
We, the white people, we need to band together.
It just shows people he doesn't even know.
I know, like, I bet all those people would call you an asshole for doing this right now.
Don't put me in your fucking video.
No smoke.
Alright,
thanks for watching. If you made it this far, please subscribe if you feel like. Always comment. Use the comment section. Argue with us. Argue with each other. Whatever the fuck you want to do. And as always, give this video a big kangaroo down under thumbs up.